Welcome to Fire Breathing Kittens, a standalone actual play tabletop role-playing podcast. Every episode we play a different rule set, have a varied set of characters, and a self-contained microplot from a complete adventure with a beginning and an end that fits into the overarching macroplot of the whole season. Because they stand sturdily on their own, you can listen to these episodes in any order, and can skip any you don't enjoy. Today, we are playing using the game mechanics from a game called Risus. If you enjoy these mechanics, you can find Risus from the website drivethrurpg.com, but I wanted to emphasize the through is THRU and not the full spelling. Anyway, drivethrurpg.com and search for the game Risus, spelled RISUS. This rule set is very light, easy to pick up, and is well suited to imaginative gameplay. So our players today should feel right at home. Speaking of players, today we are joined by Barbara and Jolly.
Hey everybody! I'm using a character voice, but not like an accent, more like a vocabulist, because I watched the movie Clueless, and I wrote down all the words that I don't use in my normal speech, and it's kind of like a bingo game for me where I'm trying to use each of them somewhere in the episode. Barbara is a teal-haired centaur. She came from wealthy parents. She's really nice, and she makes potions, sort of like for side money, but now she's seeing if she wants to do it for a living. Let's find out.
Thanks, Barbara. Chico Barrett.
Hi there, nice to meet you. I'm Chico Barrett. I'm a 3-foot 4-inch desert cottontail rabbit folk with tan fur, white chin and belly, orange paws, and I got wearing a cotton shirt with denim overalls, a straw hat, and a backpack filled with straw.
Thanks, Chico. And finally, Kit Manu.
Hello, my name is Kit. I'm a real tiny little bird person, so try not to, sit on me or stand on me or kick me across the room like a football. That'd be much appreciated. What do I like to do? I like to make like little clockwork machines, and they do things for me, like answer the door and go to the bank and, do all sorts of paperwork, that sort of thing, just so I don't have to talk to people. Sorry, what was the question again?
Who you are, and I guess you were answering it very well. Continue.
Oh, well, that's a new one. I've just been working on this, backpack-based glider system, so I can, not so much fly, but, fall with slightly more style than usual.
Excellent.
I'm not sure if it works yet.
Well, maybe we'll find out in this episode. Thanks, Kit. So all of you are all in the Fire Breathing Kittens Guild Hall. The guild's cozy wooden interior is warm and inviting. In the back, there is a bar, a seating area with wooden tables and chairs, and a wall with a corkboard where job flyers are normally posted, but none seem to be present today. It's a Wednesday morning, and there is a mood of confusion and concern in the air. Many guild members await an announcement from Nulasag on new assignments given an unprecedented situation. While you're waiting for this announcement, what are all of you doing?
Chico's going to be sitting down at a table, crafting his straw dolls, because he hasn't had a chance to do them in a while, because he's been on so many adventures and so many just fun outings and what have you. So he's finally taking some time to relax and craft his straw dolls, even on this very, very unfortunate Wednesday where everything's just kind of, there's just doom and gloom in the air.
Kit has taken out some of his little clockwork people. They're even smaller than he is, which is seeing something, considering he's about 1.5 feet tall. So they're maybe about 5 inches tall, and you've got about maybe 10 or 11 of them, and he's just kind of got them playing a little sport, and he's just kind of looking at them and seeing how they play, and he's like, no, you should be doing a barrier there. That's not going well. Catch it, you idiot. No. It's the absolute travesty of this game, sorry. And then, which immediately gets knocked over by, whoever passes by who happens to have a tail. It just sweeps everything away, and he stares up as if to say, probably for the best.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
They were not playing well. It's not a good game.
I'm a 7-foot tall centaur. I have unfortunately heavy hooves and a sweeping horsetail. And I'm like, but these figurines that you both are making are so classic. I'm referring to both the straw dolls and the soccer team, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, but the spin ball is like not very good at all. Is completely offside. It's not worth it, honestly. You can just pull between the floorboards, that one.
Well, these things are actually pretty small. Well, now I take a look, yeah, they're about the same size. I'm comparing my straw dolls to Kit's straw doll, Kit's clockwork things. In fact,
Do you want them to move at all? I can. Well, if I take this one and just put it inside your one, then we can make a little like moving scarecrow.
Oh, that'd be very interesting. That'd be very neat. Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah, and then we can stick it into the rafters and scare off the sparrows.
Yeah, and all the possums up there too. Yeah, that'll make
I don't want to go near the possums. They've got knives.
They got knives. Well, I guess some would particularly have knives. And,
no, they've got knives. They're like sharpening them and like big proper knives.
Well, we should take care of this problem together by making these clockwork scarecrow rabbit doll hybrids and put them up there and scare them away.
Yeah, let's just scrap whatever you've got planned. We're gonna do Kit and Chico take on the roof possums.
The new assignment is opening a pest control business. Nice.
The possums have knives, everyone.
Hey. All right. Well, as you are discussing the details and the possible entrepreneurship that you may engage in together, exiting Nulasag's office and coming downstairs, you see an imposing and very muscular Goliath with emerald green eyes and pale bluish-gray skin. He's wearing crisp khaki pants, no shirt, and a black cloak associated with Fire Breathing Academy. He stands at 7'7", wields a massive warhammer, and has a determined expression on his face. He addresses the guild. Hello, members of FBK. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Skirmish Killington, and I have spoken to Nulasag. I'm afraid to say his condition is getting worse. He's still in good spirits, and expects us to do our jobs as heroes, the heroes we signed up to be. Over the past week, the magic users of the guild have reported, I'm a little choked up with Nulasag, have reported odd happenings. Increasingly, magic use is becoming unreliable. Sometimes doesn't work at all, and at times, even the most simple spells can backfire on the most experienced magic users. The city of Niqamui is beginning to descend into chaos, as many of the normal functions of society that rely on magic have ceased. I will be dividing you into squads with specific tasks. Hopefully, together, we can weather this storm. Please be patient as I hand out assignments. And so you see the Goliath starting to make his way through the guild, and he's talking to various groups, moving his hand as they indicate direction and giving them instructions. And, yes, and so now you are presumably waiting for him to talk to you.
So magic's on the fritz. That would explain why he can't bowl for toffee anymore. Yeah. Sorry, I was talking about little Shane down there. He's fallen beneath the floorboards now and he's looking quite sorry for himself.
Can we fish him out?
Trust me, you don't want to.
Oh, okay.
He's been a problem player from day one, and let's face it, the team's going to be stronger without him.
All righty then. I'll let him go on his little adventure. Have fun. What was his name again?
Shane.
Got it.
Yeah. What sort of beast do we have in the basement, by the way? Or giant possum with a
giant possum
katana?
with a katana. Yeah.
Yeah. It trains all the other possums in knife combat.
Here's the 411. I heard that the lady possum in the basement has knives because she's going to get her babies back, and they're all in the roofs because it's a family that's been separated. But not for long. The knives are going to solve the problem.
When don't they?
Yeah, if eating food has taught me anything, it's knives solve everything.
Well, as you're discussing the
whatever it was we were
Yeah,
just discussing.
I'm having a hard time grasping what it was you're discussing.
Don't try and sum it up.
Okay.
It's not worth it.
The thing you were talking about, as you're discussing the thing you're talking about, the Goliath moves up to you, and you're the last group. Everyone else has kind of moved off to their assignments. And he says, well, it looks like you're the crack squad that Nulasag requested. I've got a special assignment for you. Can you join me at the table, please?
Well, sure thing.
Clip clop.
Well, madam, I didn't know if we have any seats that accommodate centaurs. But if you would like to stand by the table, that would do.
Oh, I prefer to stand. I'm good.
Perfect. Okay. So,
I'm sure we've got a horse hammock somewhere, right?
Yeah, we're a guild with
We're bound
a couple of different centaurs. I'm sure there's got to be some kind of chair. We'll put that on the list of things to do after probably this. So, as it turns out, we've got bigger problems than Nulasag's health. With the increasing disruptions in magic, there are remote prisons that have been sealed for generations by the wizards of old, and they contain untold horrors. The beasts of legend, the Zygor and whatnot.
Like the possums, yeah.
Yeah, well, no. Yes. Imagine a possum, 1,000,000 times the size, and with a crossbow, if you will, a flame-throwing crossbow. That's what we're dealing with. I would assume. I don't really know what's behind the prison door, but that's the most horrifying thing I can think of.
You're talking about a possbow.
You've heard? You've heard the
I
legend?
just made it up, but if it makes you feel better, yeah.
It doesn't make me feel that. That's why we need you. Okay, let me get back to the point. So, we kind of have these nigh indomitable creatures. And so, Nulasag has called you three out specifically to get to the bottom of this dire situation. We have a clue, though. And so, you see him reach into his cloak, and he puts a crystal hemisphere in the middle of the table. He goes, this is an artifact that we had at the academy. And mainly, all it did was, it would sit in a classroom, and it would help students to detect the magic they were using and tell the school of magic that it was detecting with different colours and whatnot. But about a week ago, this crack developed, and he points from like the apex of the hemisphere down one side, along the side of the artifact. His funny thing is, we think it's pointing the way to the source of the problem. And you see him rotate the artifact on the table, and as he does so, the crack actually kind of stays in the same place. It moves along the artifact to point what would be north. And he goes, we need you. We need you to travel to the suspected source and fix this problem. Society is collapsing, and that's only the beginning. We can help you as best we can. We've got a ship in the harbour if you need transport. But do you have any questions?
Yeah, what are we going to do about the possums?
Well, hopefully we can encourage them to fight on our side, because as society collapses and more chaos reigns in the streets, we're going to need help. And an armed possum seems like a good way to enforce order by threatening those that would be ne'er-do-wells and just kind of motioning over to the possum with a knife. It's like, is this what you want? And then perhaps they'll put down I don't know what a TV equivalent would be in this world. Put down the take-home play set. So we'll deal with that after. Like once things have shored up, we can take care of the possums. In fact, I may have overheard that you and Chico, is it? You two have an idea to take care of these possums.
Well, do you want us to, solve this big magic thing, or do you want us to take care of the possums? We can't possibly do both.
You're not thinking, what is it they're always saying? You're not thinking fourth dimensionally. You can do both, just not both right now. First, you need to do the magic thing. Then, you can do the possum thing.
Sounds like a plan. Let's do it.
I mean,
Chico.
okay, but, don't blame me if we come back and there's like an army of possums ready to go to war. As some sort of possum mafia.
Well, hopefully. I mean, he picks up his warhammer to show, I don't mind pitching in with the extermination. That's kind of what I do best. But also, if we have magic back in the world, we have other tools we can use to help get rid of this problem. If it is indeed a problem, I'm not saying we can't discuss things diplomatically. Sometimes it just takes understanding.
Yeah, diplomatically, they're just possums, right?
Are they? They have knives.
I didn't say they weren't violent, but yeah, they're just possums.
Maybe once they're reunited, we can all kick it together.
I like the way you think. Is it Barbara?
Yeah.
Excellent. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Skirmish.
Correct. So, if you can find out who's behind this or what's behind this, all the better. But the priority is restoring the magic. I mean, our world depends on it so highly. And Nulisag actually was doing okay. He had a hangnail. And he tried to get a cleric to heal him. But with magic on the fritz, it ended up backfiring. And he got burnt quite severely. So, I believe Dr. Crud has him stabilized, but the outlook is not too good. The sooner you could get it back, the better. And I don't know what's going to happen with those prisons. I was going to say also, the ship in the harbour is captained by a graduate student at Fire Breathing Academy. Her name is Laika. Talk to her, and she can take you where you need to go.
All righty then. I'll go ahead and take this stone and we'll head to the harbor and go where we need to go. And Chico takes the magical stone that was shown off earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to gallop there?
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. You don't mind if we get on your back?
No, people who move at slower paces really benefit from moving faster, don't they?
Yeah, let's do it.
I was going to say it was going to be a bit boring for you if, us two are just going as fast as we can and you're just taking like one step for every maybe 10 or 15 of ours.
On the last mission I was on, there was this big robot fella who was really big, and I tried to ride on him, and he wouldn't let me. This is going to be fun. Let's do it.
Yeah, I much prefer running. I think you guys are like 2 feet and 3 feet tall.
Yeah, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this totally
3 foot.
works. Yeah.
To be honest, Kit could probably ride on Chico.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Can I get a rope and just tie it to your tail and then I can glide? I want to test it.
Sure.
I like the look of that.
I'm going to ask you to do a skill check.
No.
So this will be the first one that we do in the
Bound to
Risus
happen
mechanic.
at some point.
Yeah. And so it'll be some kind of dexterity or strength or something to do with the flying that you're doing. And so, listeners, the way Risus works is each character has what's called cliches and different levels of cliches. So, for example, Skirmish as a barbarian would have like a level 5 barbarian cliche and everything that comes with that. He's strong and violent and can push things. So if there's a situation where those things would come up, you would roll that number of d6 to beat the target number and then see if you'll hang on. Now, this target number is not going to be very high. So first, Kit, tell me which cliche you're going to use.
Well, it's either going to be Tinker or Aeronaut.
You have a higher one in Tinker, right?
I do. I was thinking that if you're just looking at specifically how the glider functions, it would probably be Tinker. But Aeronaut would more be about how Kit actually
flies it.
Flies it?
I think that would probably be more appropriate. So what you'll do, your Aeronaut cliche is level 2. So you roll 2d6, and then I'm going to make it a fairly simple, not trivial, but like a 2. So you need to meet or beat a 2. Actually, we'll make it a 3 because a 2 is automatic.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Oh, that's handy. 9. So we're rolling the 2d6 and adding them together.
Correct. So now you are gliding with style. You're doing barrel rolls and you have this. I don't know if Kiwis can smile, but if they could, that is exactly what you're doing. You're just having a ball as Barbara gallops turns left and right, and you're swaying in the breeze, and you're just living life to its fullest.
I'm just glad no one's invented power lines.
It's a good thing.
Wow, Kit, that looks incredible. You're going to need to make me one of those. That looks like a lot of fun.
Meanwhile, all Kit hears is...
All right, so you make your way down to the docks, and there are examples as you go of heightened tensions by the people that would occupy the markets, the docks, the different places as you pass by. There's a lot of, you can just feel the tension everywhere you go, and things are just right on the edge. Many of the ships that are normally docked are absent, and it creates this very eerie feeling. But at the far end, there's a sleek ship with 3 connected hulls and 2 enormous gas-filled sacks floating gently above it. You faintly hear the phrase, "fire-breathing kittens," from the ship as one of the crew waves at your group.
Chico's on top of Barbara and points at the ship and says, "That's where we need to go."
I run there, and running is so fun. Ships are not. I'm a little concerned.
Oh, this will be fun. As you approach the gangplank, a human woman in her late 20s, early 30s sizes up your crew. She has flaming red hair, porcelain skin, and light green eyes. She's dressed in a dull green captain's coat with many brass buttons, small epaulettes on her shoulders, and a large sailor's cap with a forest green feather sticking out. And she says to you, "Welcome to the FBS Phoenix, you scurvy dogs. Are you lot the ones that are going to save the world?"
Yep, that would be us, here to save the world and everything from with the magic and bring the magic back and restore order. And yep, we got this big shiny rock. He holds it up and it's pointing away.
I don't know anything about a rock, but welcome aboard. Please join me. My name's Laika.
Yep, Laika, that's the person we're supposed to be meeting. Nice to meet you. I'm Chico. This is Barbara here. And that fella that's flying in the sky there is Kit.
Excellent. Are you still flying, or so the galloping has stopped? And I'll say there's a breeze coming off the coast. And so, like a kite, Kit is still just kind of hovering gently.
If there's not too much trouble from anyone, I'm not sure how to land this.
Would it be simple enough for Chico to just start reeling in like the rope with his hand?
Yeah.
I just kind of start reeling in, taking my hands and my paws and like slowly bringing the rope in.
All right, you do so successfully, and Kit is now on Barbara's back.
Oof, all my feathers are pointing the wrong direction. Hang on. Start preening, by the way. I know it's an audio medium. Doesn't quite work.
That was dope.
I don't know what that means, but I agree, because it sounds like something that's right.
Well, are you going to stand there all day, or are you going to come aboard?
Well, Barbara, we're on your back right now, so...
I look up at the floating things, and I'm kind of freaked out. I haven't shared this with you guys, but my greatest fear is umbrellas. So personally, like deep inside, I'm like, that kind of looks like an umbrella. Like the way that you said that there's like floating balls of gas.
Right. If you can imagine 2 sacks of gas above, so it would be kind of like a dirigible or like an airship, but with just 2 sacks.
Yeah, and they're like moving slightly.
They are floating slightly in the breeze.
Ooh, yeah. So I lift a hoof and I take 1 step forward up the gangplank.
Is everything okay, Barbara? You kind of hesitant? I know we gotta go save the world, but don't worry, you got us here with you. Chico's thinking you're a little hesitant because it's a big job and not because of your fear of umbrellas with the very umbrella-like things, which I think is adorable, but...
I'm sorry, guys. I'm totally bugging. That thing looks like an umbrella.
What?
It's like it moves unnaturally.
Wait, what? What does? He looks up at the balloons. It's like, what? That's just balloons. Balloons aren't umbrellas. They're balloons. Wait, and why are you afraid of umbrellas?
I don't know why.
I mean, if it helps, I'm pretty sure that none of those will stop us from getting wet.
That's not why I don't like them. Look, if I close my eyes, can you guys tell me if I start to veer off the gangplank?
Sure. And we'll get you out of the way of those umbrella-like things. Don't you worry.
Have you thought about, looking down?
Okay, I'll just look down.
Yeah, look at the gangplank. That's where the balloons aren't.
I look down at my hooves and I walk up the gangplank onto the boat, which is jiggling slightly, and this is very unpleasant.
And this is where we find out the ship has an entire mirrored floor, so all you can see is balloons.
It is polished very well. As Leica watches you just gingerly go up the gangplank, she kind of gets a look on her face of understanding mixed with impatience. And so she's like, Koa, Simon, why don't you help this young lady up the gangplank, and then we can be on our way. And so then you see these two teenagers show up. One is a human, about 5'4". He's dressed in a simple tunic and pantaloons, blonde hair, deep blue eyes, and a tan skin tone. And then the other one is a 5'1" tiefling teen, dressed in a dark robe, black hair, black eyes, no sclera, and a red skin tone. And if you're taking notes, Koa is the human, Simon is the tiefling. And if you're not, hey. So they come up to you, Barbara. They each take one of your hands, and they gently guide you up the gangplank.
I think when they step on the gangplank and it starts to jiggle, I bolt and I just dash up it.
Oh,
yeah.
then they dive.
Whoa, Barbara, what are you doing? Oh,
They dive out of the way. Simon the tiefling does make it on the deck, but Koa ends up in the water. And so he surfaces, shakes off a little bit, swims over, and then makes his way back onto the ship. But doesn't say anything. At least nothing negative that you can hear.
If I'd noticed, I would have apologized, but I was too in my own head. So I'm on the boat now. Woo.
Nice. So, I'm assuming you're afraid of ships then?
I can't say I've ever really been on one before.
Well, don't worry. I'm quite a pilot to ships. We'll get to where you're going, no problem. And if you'd like, we have some quarters. You can go in. You don't have to stay on the deck. Sometimes looking at the ocean or the geography, especially in an airship, can be quite disconcerting. So, why don't you make your way to the cabin and relax?
I look at that tiny narrow hallway and I'm 7 feet tall and definitely a horse, and I'm like, yeah, you can just see it on my face. No. I don't fit. Well, anyway, I'm just gonna close my eyes over here, and I walk up to the mast and I put my head on it. All right, you guys have a nice airship. I'll be over here, scared.
All right. You'll be pleased to know that I know that most airships are a bit magical, and with the problems we're experiencing with magic, we wouldn't dare do something like that to you and endanger you. So, we've got a 100% mechanical ship, and should be all right. It was made by a master craftsman. I believe his name was Vulcan Ornifex. Quite good. So, you don't have to worry. Are you ready to cast off?
He's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Is he pretty good? Do you know him then?
Pretty good. Yeah.
Well, all right, then you should... Do you feel you could do better?
Well, I mean, not to brag, but and also without checking my wiki page, I've got 2 dwarf dads basically, and he's one of them, but I can't remember which one.
You're related to him.
Well, I mean,
You don't look at him at all, like him at all.
One, no, I mean, I would hope not, but no, one of them is, yeah, as I said, I've got 2 dwarf dads. One of them is adopted dad. One of them is more my kind of master, so kind of a father figure, as it were. So I suspect it's that one, because the other one is also a smith, but also nowhere near here. So process of elimination, it's dwarf dead number 2.
She crouches down at the word master, and she looks at you and kind of in a inquisitive way, it says, "Do you mean master in the apprentice fashion or the enslavement fashion?"
Let's go for the first one.
She cocks her head at you just to, like she's keeping an eye on you. She's very protective. You can feel that emanating from her. She's like, "All right, well, if you have any problems with this adventure or anything beyond, you just let me know. We'll take care of it. All right."
What a weird way to say something completely normal.
Well, I think she's just very nice to you.
Well, then she kind of recoils a little bit and remembers her place as captain when she hears that. So she stands up, bolt upright, and says, "All right, you swabs, are you ready to cast off?"
I reckon we are.
"What about you, horse lady? Do you have a name?"
I'm good here. I'm like holding the mast and I've got my head on it.
"Okay. Would you like a hat with a broad brim? We've got plenty of those."
I'm good.
Her name's Barbara.
"Oh, thank you.
I think she's new.
My name's Captain said before, and we'll be on our way then. So, as she orders the launch, you see the two teenage crew members get very busy, and the Phoenix whirs to life. And as opposed to a sailing ship on the waters, you don't start making your way out, but you start making your way up. You glide smoothly into the sky. And as you rise higher, the tumult, kind of the energy that you heard around Niqamui slowly fades, and you start seeing the features of the coast and kind of the broader geography of where you're at. "So, I'm ready to go. Do you have a heading that I can take us to?"
And who's got the magic thing? We didn't leave it behind, did we?
No, I got it right here.
Okay, that's good.
He takes a look at the rock. The rock's pointing in a direction, right?
Yes, it's
still
pointing
acting the way.
north.
We need to head that way. And he just points in the direction it's pointing. I don't know
All
what
right.
direction that is. That's where we need to go.
Is there anybody else here that's better at directions? No offense, young man. Or are you referencing
you're
that
a
stone?
tinkerer, so. Oh, yeah. Here, you can take a look at it. He hands her the stone.
Fascinating. So she turns it and observes the crack. And do you mind if I just mount this here by the wheel?
Oh, that's no problem.
Perfect. So she kind of rigs up a device such that it can be secured by the wheel so she can tell where she's going. It's like, looks like it's due north. All right. We're in for a long journey. Why don't I hand out a few duties, and you can take care of some things in preparation for whatever comes our way. Does that sound good to you all?
I can help.
Barbara,
Yeah, it's all good.
do you think you could manage to let go of the mast at all?
Why do you need me to help?
Well, that's kind of the rule of the ship. Everyone helps out. No freeloaders.
I reluctantly lift my face from the mast and I look at this Leica lady. I'd like to do like an insight check on why she's offering to save Kit from masters, but is forcing me to do something incredibly unpleasant for me. Like, what is this really helpful evil person? So I want to do an insight check on her. My response to this situation depends on her motivation for making me incredibly uncomfortable.
She's taking her job as captain very seriously, and you can see that her captain's outfit is very prim and proper, and so you can tell there's an air of duty and responsibility that she feels to do the right thing. And so as captain, the ship is her responsibility, and if you're on the ship, you are her responsibility, but she's going to designate roles accordingly, if that makes sense. And so, yes, you're a passenger, yes, you're a hero, but you can also pitch in. I think that's what her attitude would be. And that's you read all of that in her face and body language.
I take out a potion from my many saddlebags, and it's brown and bubbly, and I drink it, and I seem to lose my inhibitions. I'm walking on the deck. You got it.
Is it a magic potion?
Yeah,
Okay. I need you to roll a d10.
that's a 5.
Okay, it has the effect you intend.
I feel less fear.
Okay.
Okay, I'll try my best, I tell this lady who I'm trying to work with.
That's very good. There's no I in team. Okay. So she has the heading. She's going to be doing the steering. And she says, I've got a few jobs. And I'll divide it up between you and my crew. So we've got making rope ladders, if anybody's good at that. We need to help prepare food for the journey. Maintaining the main engine. It has to be checked in at least a couple of times per day. And readying the ballistas. So you never know what we're going to encounter, so we need to ready... we only have non-magical weapons aboard, so they need to be ready in case of attack. Do any of you want to do any of those things?
Engine.
I could make the rope ladders or do the cooking. That depends on Barbara. Barbara, what are you good at?
I noticed that... Wait, cooking was one of them?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, but that's like inside. I noticed that these ballistas are like right here. And I like walk 3 shaky steps over to one.
Yeah, they're not at the end of the railing. They're midship, I guess. And so, yeah, they're right by where you are. And so I need everybody to find a cliche that is associated with a thing that they're trying to do and then roll for to try to beat the target number.
All right, since no one's going to do the cooking, that's what I'll do.
All right.
And I'm going to roll my crop ninja cliche. So my total with cooking was 25.
Holy moly, yes. Not only do you prepare the food, but it is the best food the captain or crew and possibly your fellow party members have ever had. Like just the smells and the aromas coming from the galley are intoxicating. They're just so delicious. And you made them in such a way that they'll last a while.
Mm-hmm. I figure it's just with all the spices they have and it's new stuff and Chico's just throwing it all together and figuring it out. And something new to him and he's having fun, just having fun, enjoying himself. And that's what really brings it out.
Okay. How is the engine doing?
The engine, if I had to put it on a scale of 2 to 30, is a 20.
Perfect. Yeah, it is. You actually notice a design flaw because you rolled so well, and you're able to correct it. And the engine not only works more efficiently, but requires to be checked in on less often.
Well, I'm going to have to write this one down. There's a bit of a clumsy mistake if I mean, someone should have been paying a bit more attention to that. Oh, wait, it was probably me, wasn't it? I probably thought this looked familiar. Yeah, that was it. Whoops. I guess I won't mention it. There was absolutely nothing wrong with this engine at all. And, yeah, I've just made it better, in fact.
Wonderful. All right, Barbara, how are those? What did you roll for preparing ballistas? Do you have anything that would be any cliches that would fit?
Yeah. Maintaining metal means oiling it. And as a chemist, I have petroleum separated into its components. Like I've got gasoline, I've got Vaseline, I've got, so I am able to keep the machinery in tip-top shape with my chemistry with a 14. Probably.
Yes.
I don't know what numbers are in this game.
Well, there is a scale of, like, a 5, for example, would be simple for a pro, but difficult for a civilian. And then it kind of goes up in 5s. And so the roles that you're getting are exceptional, I would say. So you're so skilled in these categories that you're doing not only well, but extremely well. So the ballistas, you notice there were some of them that were catching and that would potentially misfire maybe, but now they are all in pristine condition. And the captain looks at all of you and is very pleased with your contribution to the ship. And when you're done with your jobs, you hear a rumbling, like a very loud rumbling off the port bow, which I guess would be the front left if you're a land lover like myself. And so there's this just immense clear sky, but there's a rumbling coming from the front left, the port bow.
Oh yeah, port is port.
Right. What? Wouldn't port always be port?
Yeah, port is always port.
Well, then yeah, I agree. So you're still flying. The captain kind of notices the rumbling. And are any of you on deck when this rumbling is occurring?
Yep.
Yeah. I would say Chico's up there after his job's done.
Okay. Kit?
I'm still going to be down in the engine room, maybe just making some notes on how we can make the engine a bit smaller so I can attach it to my backpack.
Ooh.
And have self-propulsion.
Yeah, actually, given the noise of the engine, you may not hear the rumbling. You might, but you may not. So, but for Barbara and
Definitely
Chico...
won't feel it, because it's all going...
Oh, yeah. So for Barbara and Chico, you begin to see strange green lightning emanating outward from a fixed point in the sky. A moment later, you see an oblong portal rapidly open to the size of an American football field, or a slightly narrower version of Wembley Stadium football pitch, if that's your persuasion. And then out of the portal comes a huge and terrible storm equivalent to a Category 1 level hurricane. The ship immediately starts to sway and pitch to the starboard side. And all you notice, Kit, is that...
Everything goes upside down.
It's starting to pitch. I need everybody to roll something to do with your footing. So it would be like a dexterity roll, but if you have a cliche associated with that, you will need to roll that now.
Let's see, I'm going to roll Farm Boy, which is experience and know-how of farm life, in order to grab onto a rope and more than likely with farming experience and falling off of things and whatnot, just hanging on.
Riding pigs.
Yep, riding. Yep, pig ride.
Famously rotate quite quickly.
Mm-hmm. I've got a 19.
Okay, that passes. So you hang on to the rope as you decide. Can you describe what side of the ship you're on? Are you on the port side closer to the storm, or the starboard side closer to where it's being pitched?
Probably looking at the storm before all this happened, so the port side.
Okay. Cool. So you're hanging on to the ropes by the railing. In fact, there was a rope ladder that was on that side that Koa was working on, and it kind of starts to unfurl. And what you do is you grab onto that, and you're just hanging on, but you've got a very good grip.
Got it.
Barba, what did you roll?
You said you get 2 dice if you don't have anything that fits?
Yes, but I will need to raise the target number respectively. Does that make sense? This isn't a specific mechanic in Risus. It talks about that for combat. But since this is not a combat, I'm going to try to do something that allows you to do that. Or you can just fail automatically if you'd like. But I want to give you a chance,
My horse hooves slide across his deck in an auto fail. I try to contrast my new characters with my old characters. Previous character, all decks. New character, no decks. She would auto fail any deck save.
Okay.
I mean, how would horse hooves cling to deck? It wouldn't. So she slides. She's sliding.
Yeah. Okay.
She's probably not having fun.
No. Because now, the balloons are now no longer directly above you, and they're more in your eyesight. Yeah. I did not purposefully make this to torture your character, but it's just a happy coincidence that we get to do this.
Fun.
Anyway, you start sliding toward the starboard side, and as you do so, you see both Simon and Koa sliding down, and they reach the railing, and they both are in danger of falling off the ship.
And of being squished by a horse who's going to smash right through that railing.
Well, you're not in line. You're not in line with them. You're off-centered, I guess. You're further toward the middle of the boat. They're further toward the bow. You're astern, I guess.
Yeah, here I come. I hope you're built well, railing.
Okay, so you slide, and you're how heavy would you say you are? Not that I'm supposed to ask a lady their weight, but you are a centaur, and this may play into the mechanics of the integrity of the ship railing.
1,400 pounds.
Oh my. Okay, so you are slipping.
That's actually on the light end of a horse.
Right.
I'm a pretty dainty centaur, but I'm a centaur.
So as you slide, you fall and get tangled into these, they're more like cables. So they're metal, but they are straining because they flex quite a bit at your impact, but then they kind of bounce back a little bit. but you can tell that they're not meant to have sustained pressure on them for a long time. And as you hit those cables, Simon actually flips onto the other side, and he's hanging on for dear life on the ship. And while this is happening, the captain is trying to steer the ship away from the storm. Like, this is totally unexpected. She is skilled, and so she's able to start getting that way, but the storm is so intense and fierce, and the balloons are kind of going everywhere, and the ship is tilting, that she's having a very difficult time of it.
Do I have any chance to react? Like, can I do something?
Sure, yeah, go ahead. This game is all about role play, and as many details as you can put in there, the better, and the funnier they are, the better chance of your success.
I'd like to drink a potion.
Okay. While you are sliding...
No, I'm in the cables.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're there.
Yeah, I got flung across the deck. Now I'm in the cables. They're straining. I might fall off. Just saying, this is a great time for magic, because otherwise I'm going to die.
Okay.
I have a 5 in Potion Master, too, so this is going to be a very strong not effect I intend. I'm going to try to be a Pegasus centaur, but let's roll. Let's see. And then do you want me to roll a d10?
Yeah, roll a d10 to see if it goes the way you think it'll go.
Okay. It's a 7, so who knows if that'll... But that's a 13. Do I sprout wings?
You do, but the magic is tampered with. Like, it's not exactly as you intend, and now I have to think on the fly of what happens. So the wings that you sprout are... Oh, no. Okay, here's what happens. You sprout, like, little baby wings that really couldn't lift. Like, they might lift Kit, maybe Chico, but they don't really do much for you. But however, what happens is they shimmer, and it actually teleports you inside the galley.
Oh, no. I don't fit in the galley, my friend. Have you seen... Okay.
Well, you can fit in the galley, but getting out of the galley may be tricky.
This is awful. All right, cool. Let's move on to Kit. It's not going well.
Well, I'd say it was going well, considering you're not barreling face first off an airship.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, could be worse. God.
All right, Kit, what's going on in the engine room?
Well, all the lights are going flashy, different colours, and it's all very interesting. But everything's also started to wobble a little bit, and I rolled. Well, personally, for me, I rolled Aeronaut, which is just a 2, just because to see how stable I end up being. I got an 8 for that.
Okay, you end up falling. That's not quite enough to maintain your balance, and so you fall, I would say, into the engine, but not like the moving components that would necessarily chew you up. But you slam...
Well, obviously there are like guards over there. We're not idiots.
Yes. Well, I'm trying to paint a visual picture for the listener at home. You slam into the protected portion of the engine.
Oh, good thing we put a guard over that. Ooh, that could have been awkward.
Also,
was that the noise of a horse slamming against something?
You also hear, because there's a pipe going from I don't know what you would call it, the wheel to the engine room.
The helm.
Yes, the helm. Very nice. You are truly an aeronaut.
You can call it the steering wheel if you want to.
I'm going to call it the big turny thing. So anyway, from the big turny thing, Laika is shouting in the pipe, but it blends in with fierce wind, and so you hear a lot of wind coming out of the pipe, but you faintly hear from her, "If anybody's in the engine room, I need more power now."
Oh, I'm giving her all she's got, Captain. But the engine can't take it anymore. I assume I haven't really looked.
So what?
It's something I heard someone say once, and it sounded fun.
Can you, are you making any modifications to the engine in order to give it all she's got?
Oh, yeah, I can do that if you want. I can just... Actually, we fitted this one earlier. It just says storm.
The storm setting?
Yeah. It seemed a sensible thing to put on. It's weird that most ships don't have one.
You know, I will accept that. And You require no roll because everything is automatically done as you shift from normal to storm. And
basically all it does is from the kind of tops of the masts, they kind of open up a little bit and a lightning rod pokes out of each of them, just to kind of draw in any lightning, which in turn kind of like funnels down back to the engine, which kind of powers up kind of like an induction kind of gravity thing, which helps to suck like everyone down into the... But it's not quite the magic thing, but it's more of like a vent system, so it kind of like there are fans underneath the surface of the deck, which kind of start turning, and it kind of starts vacuuming people onto the surface, kind of like the opposite of an air hockey table.
Okay. I think I get what you're saying. So this is amazing because there were going to be some lightning strikes that were to be avoided, but now as lightning strikes the mast of the ship, it powers the engine as you so wonderfully described. And what Koa and Simon experience is they are sucked toward the midship. They kind of flip over the railing and are sucked up, even though the ship itself is still tilted starboard. The captain, unfortunately, is being pulled away from the helm. The helm. And Chico is hanging on to the ladder, but the ladder itself is kind of moving toward this suction. But as all this happens...
I'm saying the idea is that the fans are kind of beneath the surface of the deck, right? So everyone is getting sucked kind of towards the floor. So just
instead of
keep everyone on deck. So it's kind of a...
Got it.
So imagine it's just gone like real sticky.
Okay. Well, then I will reframe that. The two that were about to fall off kind of get stuck to the edge within the railing. Chico is firmly fixed where he was, and Laika has a lot of support, even though she's being pelted with wind and rain. She's able to more easily navigate the ship out of the storm. And so, because you cleverly put a storm setting in the ship, you're able to navigate out quite easily. And as you do so, as quickly as the storm appeared, it disappears. And then all is quiet and clear as it was before, and the ship starts to rock back into a level place, with everyone still stuck to the deck, with the exception of Barbara, who is now in a galley filled with wonderful smelling food.
And Chico's on deck and is like, "Where did Barbara go? I saw she was falling off. Did she fall off?" And he runs over to see if she fell off.
You don't see a horse plummeting through the clouds.
Where'd she go?
I'm over here. And as you run into the galley, you see 4 horse hooves gently treading up in the air as I'm upside down, wedged in between the stoves on one side and the prep table on the other.
Well, how'd you end up there? Were you hungry?
You know, sometimes when you're scared, they say compression is a great way to calm down. This works. This is fine. My hooves are just kind of flapping in the air.
Oh, shucks. I don't know what compression is, but that don't look fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
You don't sound fine. You're making me upset.
Oh, you already made all the food, though. It's all good. I'm wedged in here. There is no getting me out.
I can bring you some food in the meantime. What do you want? Do you want some of the mashed potatoes, or do you want some of the mac and cheese? I don't know what you want.
These are both spoon foods that, upon trying to eat them upside down, will fall on me. I'll take a loaf of bread.
Yeah, I can get you some of the bread.
Thanks.
So as you have this conversation, the captain is kind of checking on everyone, and she makes her way down. She can look down the stairs into the galley and sees the cramped nature that you find yourself in, Barbara. And she's like, "Oh boy, not again." And so she
again.
she instructs Koa and Simon. She's like, "Boys, get over here. It's happened again." And so they go and they just automatically know what to do. They start pulling kind of panels off of the entryway that would go down into the galley and start making room. And so it's taking a while, but the space around you is expanding.
Don't you guys have better things to do? Like, you should get us there. I think we should get there.
You leave that to me, ma'am. I need to make sure you're okay. You're under my care. And so I'm going to make sure that we open this up so you can move about freely. And we will need to check on the systems of the ship, though, to make sure that storm didn't knock anything out. Can I have a volunteer to check any of the systems? And I assume Kit is probably not here because she got distracted by Barbara in the galley. Kit, what are you up to?
Well, Kit has just turned it off, storm setting, because, storm setting requires the lightning to power it, and if it doesn't have that powering it, then the engine will draw more energy, and then if you leave it on too long and it's not actually a storm, then the whole ship just falls out of the sky, which we don't want to happen, so just flick the switch back to not storm.
That's good. What a well-devised control system.
Well, you don't want, it's quite an important function, and you don't want it to, you don't want to misread it or misinterpret it. So if there's a storm, you put it on storm. If there's not a storm, you put it on not storm.
And so you have switched it to not storm, and the engine gets a little bit quieter. And it's not quiet by any means, but it's not as boisterous. It's just kind of normal engine noises.
Yeah, and then I'm just going to be checking to see if anything is... Just make sure everything is running as it should be, which I think it should be.
Okay.
Apart from the kit-sized dent in one of the gear guards.
Right.
So I might get out a little mallet and just start kind of going ding, 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 to kind of, hammer out that. Or actually, no, just get that little plunger and go... Good trick.
Nice. It's precisely what you do. Chico, while you were in the galley with Barbara, you notice movement kind of by what would be the prep counter area.
Like people there?
It looks like it was a person, but in your mind you can see you saw the captain went back to the helm, and then the two crew members are kind of trying to widen the area to accommodate Barbara. But and you're not sure where Kit is, but you do see movement over there.
Yeah, Chico hops over there to investigate, see who it was.
Okay, do you have any kind of perception cliche or something associated with that?
Yeah, I could use crop ninja. Ninjas are perceptive.
Okay, I was going to say explain. Okay, yeah, ninjas are perceptive. Okay, what you notice, especially being a master of stealth yourself, you end up seeing a cat. So it's a gray, regular-sized cat with stripes and bright yellow eyes and a collar with what seems to be like a bell on it. And it's just kind of hiding.
Oh, well, you must be a stowaway. Well, that's no big problem. And I see you got this collar on. Does it belong to anyone? Is there a name on it?
You look at the collar and there's no name, but given your... Actually, did you roll for perception? I'm sorry,
Oh, not yet.
Ninja?
Oh, 28.
Oh, okay. You notice that this collar has no name, and the bell itself is not it's not a bell at all. It's some spherical device, and it's glowing a little bit.
Well, that don't look good. That looks like magic.
Are you saying this aloud?
Yeah, I say it out loud while looking at it.
All right. As you say that, the cat stares you deep in the eyes and tries to run away.
But then is blocked because the kitchen is very packed.
Mostly by horse.
Well, cats are nimble.
Wait, where you going? Oh, Chico says, wait, where you going? I thought you were hungry. We got plenty to eat. He grabs a bowl of something and starts chasing after the cat. You might like this.
All right, the cat is hopping from place to place trying to leave. Why don't you roll... I guess you rolled really well for your ninja, and I think that's dexterity-based as well. Mm-hmm. So I'll say you managed to catch up with the cat, and you now are holding the cat. And it's resistant to you, but you have it.
Oh, there's no need to be shy. You're welcome on this ship. You should try some of these, what the bowl of something I grabbed was, I don't know, fruit salad. I grabbed some fruit salad. Cats like fruit salad, don't they?
Famously, yeah.
The way you prepared it, because you prepared it remarkably well, it likes this fruit salad. And so it starts to calm down and starts to kind of eat, but then stare at you every once in a while to make sure you're not doing anything aggressive or strange.
No, I'm not going to do anything strange. I was just wanting to feed you.
It meows kindly.
This stowaway cat with a magical collar that's probably causing these hurricanes and whatnot and all this stuff. Maybe I should let the captain know about you.
Are you going to take the cat with you to see the captain, or
what is your plan? I have cat in one hand and fruit salad in the other hand in front of the cat while he's eating it. And I walk to the captain.
The captain is steering and is waiting for the crew members to finish clearing space so Barbara can get out, but then sees you and says, "Oh, Chico, what can I do for you?"
"Hey, Captain, I got this cat who I found with this magical collar that's glowing pretty bright, and I fed it some fruit salad and brought it to you. I don't know if this collar had anything to do with the storm that we just came into, but it sure started wanting to run away in the moment I noticed its collar on."
The more you keep talking about its collar, the more it wants to get away from you. So it starts really violently trying to get away. It knocks over the bowl of fruit that you were holding, and so that's all over the
salad.
deck. I know. And so I need you to make some kind of cliche check that you're holding onto the cat if you choose to hold on to the cat.
Well, I've held on the cats a lot in the farm, so I'll roll farm boy.
All right.
To try to, I've dealt with this kind of stuff a lot of times with a bunch of farm animals trying to kick away when they don't want some. They don't know what's good for them.
I mean, put it this way: what are cats but slightly more furry possums?
Exactly.
Minus the knives.
Minus the knives. Well,
they're easier than possums.
The claws are like knives, little tiny knives. Yeah.
Yeah, but not actual knives.
Nature's knives.
All right, I got 22.
Okay, yeah, your skill around livestock and animals, it's automatic. You don't even think about it. You just know exactly where to grab and counter every move that this cat. So the picture is you're talking casually to the captain, and your hands are moving like twice a second in repositioning to contain this cat, and the cat is completely helpless in its ability to try to escape you. But you're like, you're pretty cool just talking, yeah, there's this cat, and there's this collar, and I don't know what's going on.
Every time I say collar, it gets feistier. I say, I think I know what the problem is, Captain.
And what's that?
This collar, it starts screaming, snarling, and hissing.
Well, what are you going to do about it then?
Well, I'm holding it. Can you take the collar off? And starts getting angry.
She turns from the wheel. I mean, it's pretty stable. It's clear. There's not really a danger. She tries to take off the collar. Let me roll for that. See what her cliche is. She tells you, animals are not really my thing. I'm more of a person of the sea. I will say that... And
cat begins with a C. You're fine.
Oh, that's true. Well, my graduate thesis is more on swordplay, showmanship, and sailing, not cats. But I'll do what I can. And so she manages. She's unable to do it.
If you make a show of it, it's fine.
Oh, yes, you're the voice in her head that's trying to convince her to power through and take this collar off. So she begins doing some very dramatic arm movements and almost a dance, but not quite, as she tries to sync up with the cat. And as she does so, she's able to remove the collar. And she has the collar. And as she removes the collar, the cat that you hold in your hand, Chico, becomes something different.
A possum.
Not quite. It slowly grows into a woman with deep blue skin tone. Her eyes are completely white, like all sclera, and she has white hair, but not very much, like straggles of hair, as if she was burned at some point or something. Like she's but she is also dressed in kind of a white tunic of sorts and pants, and so she's like, get Oh, sorry, wrong voice. Get off me!
Wait, you're not a cat. You're, well, I'm not sure what to call you.
Huh. Well, I guess I'm discovered. My name is Andrea, but that's all you'll get out of me.
Wait. Okay, so you're Andrea? Wait, so... I'm Chico. Nice to meet you.
She eyes you suspiciously, and she's like,
I must get off this ship.
Well, it's a long way down to the ground. We just got done with the storm. Are you hungry? Well, you just ate some of my fruit salad. There's something else you'd like?
She kind of eyes you and the captain, and she's unsure what to make of your offer of food. But then eventually you see her relax and go,
Yes. Food. Yes, that sounds delightful. I'll take some of your food.
Come along then. Follow me. It's all cooked by me. Everyone on the ship liked my cooking.
So she eyes you suspiciously, and she's looking like it's as if she was expecting more of a commotion with her appearance, and there is none. And so she just follows you. And
well, to be fair, we have just had a teleporting horse.
That's true.
Follow me by this way. Don't go down the galley. They're dealing with the situation there. A horse got stuck in the galley, and you just see. Just imagine, like, I know there aren't forklifts on the ship, but I just imagine like the beeping of forklifts backing up in reverse and dealing with the situation, like pulling apart panels to get the horse, and then Barbara's just like, "I'm fine."
I will say at this point, enough of the tables and furniture or the fixtures have been cleared so that Barbara can at least get on her hooves, but the roof is a little bit low, so you can't exactly stand all the way upright, but you can stand. And so you see Chico with this blue woman following him.
Hey, I wave as you walk past because you're not going here.
Hey, Barbara. Let's talk to you. We'll talk later. We got a guest. It's this woman who's blue. Her name's Andrea. She can shapeshift into cats.
Nice.
So Andrea is flummoxed by the casual mention of like,
this is not what I expected at all.
And then she waves hesitantly at Barbara like, hey, and keeps following Chico.
So when we
I think by this point Kit will have finished off checks in the engine room and gone upstairs in search of food, only to discover Barbara stuck.
I hand you a loaf of bread.
You were stuck in here.
Yeah, I totally choked, and I did use a potion. I don't think I should use magic anymore.
Well, so how are you stuck in here? Can you not just like bend your knees and like shuffle out? I
break the thing that I like press myself, and I'm like stretch, and it goes snap, snap, snap. Yeah, that worked. A broken dishwasher behind me. I emerge from the wreckage through the widened thing. But yeah, still horse, still inside. Yeah.
Well, we can just get you out. It's not an issue. Hang on, let me just check this doorway here. It should have a just behind this little panel there. Ah, yeah, here you go. Here's your issue. It was set to not horse.
Oh.
See, when we were designing these, we had to have, some certain little modifications because, we live in a world with quite a lot of differently sized people. So this one's got a horse setting and a not horse setting. And yeah, this was set to not horse. So if you just flick it to horse, and we flick that, you see the door frame actually widens and it gets a lot bigger.
Wow, I've got to give you snaps.
So you see the crew members look at each other holding boards and hammers, and they were trying to deconstruct all this, and they look at each other and they look at Kit like, You mean the whole time we could have just flipped the switch? Ugh.
What, you didn't read the instructions?
No, man. We're just here for extra credit.
Well, apparently the credit is not in reading.
No. And so you see them kind of slump and start putting the boards back on. And things have shifted a bit, so they're a little confused as to where they should go, but they're doing their best.
Barbara, wait till they find about the secret switch in the captain's cabin.
What's that one?
Oh, well, I don't want to spoil things just in case we need to use it later on, but it's interesting, put it that way.
So that's good, you're doing great. As Chico makes his way to a place that is not the galley, but I assume has food, Andrea follows you. What do you do next, Chico?
Well, after making sure she's getting fed, I'd like to ask, what are you exactly? You got blue skin and white hair. I mean, it's pretty incredible. I've never seen anyone like you.
Well, that's a bit rude, wouldn't you say?
Well, I'm a bunny rabbit.
What am I? What?
But I don't know. I'm a bunny rabbit. And what are you?
Well, you are a cute bunny rabbit. I will say I had a pet rabbit when I was younger, and I'm just a normal human. Well, I was, till my classmates cursed me and became this.
Oh, that's terrible. How could they? Whenever I got pranked on, it was just like them sticking me with a hot rod in my butt and then leaving a scar. But that's another time. But never something that completely defaced me, like turning my skin blue and hair
Defaced?
white. Well, isn't that what you just said happened? They cursed you.
No, they did curse me, but you don't have to be so rude about it.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. It's very interesting, actually. But
Well,
I thought you were someone completely different, whole different race of someone.
well, I'm probably one of a kind, we'll say. They cursed me to the point that I was in a school for magic, and unfortunately I had none. I cheated my way in. When I was discovered by my classmates, they cursed me, they bullied me, and now I'm this. And I suppose they did give me a gift. I can shapeshift at will, but all I want is to see them ended.
I've caught up. Clip, clop, clip, clop. I heard that, And I say, yeah, there's a certain mystique about you.
Oh, see, that is how you compliment someone, Rabbit Man.
Oh, shucks, I'm sorry. I don't know big words like Barbara here does. Oh, this is Barbara. She's a centaur. I think she's really new to fire-breathing kittens. She's afraid of umbrellas.
Oh, you're with the fire-breathing kittens then. My boss is...
I like how that's the detail that it's like, oh, you're the fire-breathing kittens. Oh, well, I did mention fire-breathing kittens, I think, didn't I?
Oh, yes, you just did.
Okay, yeah.
I see why I was put aboard this ship then. My employer's very interested in you.
Us chuckleheads?
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself, darling. I love your hair, by the way.
Thanks. I start patting my tail.
At this point, Captain Laika comes back and says,
Who's this? A stowaway.
Oh, this is Andrea. She was disguised as a cat, and she had a magic collar on, but we took care of that. Now she's getting fed, and we're getting to know each other.
Ah, that's right. I remember removing the collar, but I did turn around right after to steer the ship, so I'm going to explain away why I didn't see her transformation right in your arms when I was right there.
Yeah, captains famously have no peripheral vision.
That's
straightforward.
Very focused on the job, of course. So now that I've explained that away, why are you on my ship?
Oh, well, I was sent here by my employer to see if these heroes were the real thing.
I guess. I mean, I'm real, and so is Barbara, and wherever Kit is.
Oh, I'm down here.
Oh,
Right behind you.
I'm sorry, Kit. I'm not so used to I'm used to there being small people like me, and we getting behind the big guy. But I guess I'm the big guy today. Well, no. Well, Barbara's the big guy, but the big gal.
You're the middle guy.
Yeah, that.
Well, Andrea, really, I'm just here trying it out,
So in conclusion, Andrea, I think we're the real things, and Yeah.
I don't really mean that you're material and exist, but more that you're the heroes that, well, the fire-breathing kittens are known for heroics, and my employer needs such people.
Oh, shucks.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about the arson, that's extra.
Yes, I've heard those stories too. Well,
So if you want us to set stuff on fire, that costs extra.
I don't think that will be necessary, but I'll leave that up to him.
Well, everyone else has said that previously, and things have always ended up on fire. So just bear that in mind. It may become necessary.
You want to avoid unnecessary extra charges.
Oh, definitely. I tell you what, you're on his way to his home now. I'll escort you and introduce you, if that is something you're interested in.
Well, we're already on a job right now to save the world from all this magic doohickey stuff, so we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, or whatever the saying is. Do that. What do y'all think? He's directing that to Kit and Barbara.
Oh, well, I was going to say, if we can avoid killing birds if we can, just because...
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean... There's just a saying that says kill 2 birds with 1 stone, but I don't mean like
I'm
you,
the only
Kit.
one here at the moment, so...
No, 2 other birds, and they're in our head, not like you. I wouldn't want to kill you, Kit. You're too cool. You know how to tinker with stuff.
So are you saying if he wasn't cool, you would kill him?
No, I wouldn't kill him if he wasn't cool. I don't want to kill. I don't want to kill people. That's just the way the saying goes. It says, no, just forget about that saying. I don't know what it means either.
Yeah, lingo's really hard. Well, I definitely want to hang out with this Betty more.
Oh. She, it's hard to tell, but she blushes, like the dark blue on her face becomes slightly purple.
And she says, well, nobody's ever treated me with such kindness.
Well, this is just basic politeness, so what does that say about your life previously?
She extends her arms and kind of looks at herself up and down as if to say, yeah, look at me. I think...
You may not have been here when I explained my very difficult and horrible childhood, but it was, well, very difficult and horrible.
Oh, okay.
I think you are the people that Victor would very much like to meet.
And so she stands up and she walks to the captain and kind of has a hushed conversation with her and kind of waves her hand in the air but points in a specific direction and gives her instructions of some sort. The captain nods and takes the helm, and with that, we're going to take our break. So, joining us today were Kit.
I forgot we had to say something at this point. Yeah, remind me about that secret button in Kipton's cabin. I want to use that later on.
Chico.
Well, there's still plenty of more food to eat. I guess I'll just treat myself. I haven't actually had a chance to really eat on my food yet.
And Barbara.
Did anybody else want to read a review? I've got one if you guys don't. Anybody prepared to do that?
Oh, you go ahead.
No?
You've got it in front of you.
All right. Helium Boy, I'll read your review again because last minute I just pulled one up. Why not? All right, so it says, fun, funny, and friendly gaming podcast. This podcast is the most fun TTRPG podcast I've listened to. The rotation of characters makes each episode/story refreshing and interesting. My favorite character is Lothario, who always comes to the party looking stylish and with his friendly demeanor. I'm still new to tabletop RPGs, but Fire Breathing Kittens has been a fun way to learn different types of tabletop games. Just wanted to make sure the person who played Lothario gets to hear that all the time. If you leave us a review on iTunes, we'll read it on air. Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Today's mid-episode shout-out is from clean_simple_2796, who says, quote, "For many years, a battle has been going on between heaven and the underworld for power over man. A mighty artifact can decide the outcome, the Spindle of Fate, whose new guardian becomes Marina. To get the spindle, messengers appear on Earth. they move into Marina's classmates, and that's terrifying. And the whole trinity immediately falls into the epicenter of amazing adventures in the world of darkness. Where will the light of their hearts lead? Amazon.com/spindle-fate-deafening-dark-ebook. End quote. I think based on that Amazon link, I think it's called The Spindle of Fate. If you want to read that book, it sounds very interesting and thrilling. So you can arrange for us to read your shout out at firebreathingkittenspodcast.com through our partnership with Buy Me a Coffee. If you'd like to read our books, we have books on Amazon. We have audiobooks on Audible. We don't pay to advertise our show, so if you would very kindly tell somebody about us, that would really help. Thank you. Oh, and if you tell someone about us, you can buy a shout out, and then that person who's listening to the podcast will hear you talk to them through the podcast, which is kind of cool.
Welcome back. We are mid-episode, and we're so glad that you're listening to us. If you somehow fell asleep during the first part, or didn't pay attention, or something that makes you feel like you missed some aspect of the story and you wish we would describe it, well, you're in luck, because one of us is going to do that. And when I say us, it's the royal us, not me, one of you. Can everybody roll a d6?
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be awkward if it's me, because I'm 2 out of 3 of those things. I got a 6.
got a 4.
5.
Can everybody see this number?
You've
Yes.
done a 2.
I've done a 2. Well, let's not spread my private business to the world at large, but I think that means that whoever rolled a 4 gets to tell us
Yep.
the recap.
So at the very beginning, we were all at the FBK Guild Hall. It was a Wednesday, typical Wednesday. No one was feeling good. It was kind of very dreary this Wednesday at the Guild Hall. And turns out Noodlesag was feeling under the weather because magic in the area has gone awry. It's gone all crazy. It's not working the way it's supposed to. And has Skirmish Killington, who is a Goliath, who came up to us with a job to go out and solve the issue. Said that the issue was possibly in the direction of this crack that was on the side of this magical stone that would point in the direction no matter which way you turn it. The crack would follow and keep going due north. So we took the stone, went on to a ship hailed by Captain Leica, who is pretty much in charge of this airship that Barbara was scared of because it reminded her of umbrellas for some reason. So we had to deal with that, getting her on board. And once we got on board and started sailing towards the direction of that crack, a portal came out of the sky and a hurricane came through and a storm started blowing. Everything was going crazy on the ship, but we handled it by hitting the storm button. The storm button was set to no storm. So we had to set that to the storm button, and everything was fine.
I mean, when you say it like that, it seems simple.
I mean, there was a lot of thrills going on, and then Kit was just able to like, oh yeah, this button, and clicked it. It's like, it was that simple. It's like when you're freaking out, you don't notice these things. So once we got all that done, turns out there was a cat with a magical collar. Took the collar off the cat. Turned out to be this blue-skinned, white-haired, completely white-eyed woman named Andrea, who was very unhappy with how Chica was calling out her deformities, not knowing she was actually human. And then it turns out she was bullied as a child because she didn't know magic when she was going to magic school. And that led her down the road she's in now. And now she's wanting revenge. And she knows this person, I've forgotten their name because it was mentioned right at the end. Someone who lives at a castle supposedly in the direction that we're heading.
Victor.
And that's where we left off. Victor, thank you. That was the name of that person. So she said her mentor or someone important to her named Victor was at this castle, and we're actually heading in that direction. So that's probably where the source of all this magical flux is coming from. And that's where we left off.
Thank you for that wonderful description, Chico. So, as he said, you're traveling in the direction in this airship toward still north, according to this artifact. It's been a couple of days since the events of the discovery of Andrea and the storm and everything. It's been fairly uneventful since then. You've gotten to know Andrea a little bit better. She's kind of overwhelmed by the kindness you're showing her. That's not something she's ever really experienced at all. And so she's kind of growing fond of you three. The captain is still a little bit professional, so isn't extending as much kindness, so that relationship isn't as strong. Anyway, on the morning of the 5th day, traveling north, the captain tells you,
Looks like we're approaching the North Pole. I didn't think we'd be going this far, but here we are. According to your artifact, it looks like we're getting close. It's not quite as chilly as I was led to believe that it would be.
And then Andrea says,
You get accustomed to it. It's not quite that bad.
You can see it's a very, topographically speaking, mountainous. There's a lot of mountains in the area. And because you've effectively befriended Andrea, she points at a specific mountain and it's validated by the artifact. The crack starts moving in that direction. And so Andrea's able to skillfully lower the airship, the Phoenix, kind of right by what looks to be an opulent edifice that's built into this mountain. And so you've now landed.
Guys, I think we found Santa's workshop.
Way. Let's haul ass. I'm so excited to get off this boat.
All right. Well, hold your horses there, ma'am. No offense. Let me go ahead and lower the gangplank.
And so Koa and Simon, they start operating the crank, which extends and lowers the gangplank, and now you are free to disembark.
I haul ass. I gallop. I'm on land.
All right.
It feels so solid.
Chico, Kit, are you on her back, I assume, or?
I'll put on a coat.
I'll stay on her back. I've got a natural fur coat, so I think I'm good in the snow here.
You notice Andrea, she remains on the ship, and she hesitates. She's not sure if she should join you, and so you can see her just kind of in decision. She has that decision-making face on, and she's just thinking. But away from the ship, you can see a very large oak door with what appear to be iron fixtures, like an iron handle, an iron door knocker, and then to the right of the door, you see a metal panel, probably about 1/2 meter or 1.5 feet square, and then there's a mesh circle in the middle with a small white button below it, and then next to the button, you have an inscription, and it says V. Van McGee.
Well, that's a button. Victor, or not Victor. Victor's the name of the person. Kit, you're good with buttons.
Yeah.
Press it.
Well, if you could give me a bit of a lift up, I probably could.
Oh, okay. All righty. And he picks up Kit, holds it next to the white button.
Okay. I headbutt the button.
You hear a and then just after you hear a
Yes, hello? Who is there?
Oh, it's, who are we?
Fire-breathing kittens.
Yeah, that's it.
Ah, delightful. I'm so pleased you have made it. I was afraid you were the Sea Scouts. They are relentless with their cookie sales. Yes, please, come in.
We passed their frozen bodies some while back.
Oh, that is not what I was hoping. I'll have to get some of my automatons to clean them up.
Well, what's
Give
left
them a
of them?
proper burial.
There were massive bite marks in them.
Oh.
There's something out here.
All right, thank you for the warning. I will...
Some sort of Arctic possum, I think.
Oh, they wield deadly knives, you know. I will have to increase the security of my abode. Thank you, fire-breathing kittens. Please, let me buzz you in.
And then you hear, "Bang," and then the oak door becomes slightly ajar.
Wait, so Andrea's hesitant to come by or come with us?
She's still, you look back and she's still kind of like shaking her head one way as if to consider one position and then tilting her head the other way, and it's like, well, I don't know. Like, you recognize the body language. It's uncertainty.
Chico's going to look back and wave her and like, come on, we're waiting for you.
Says, she snaps out of her stupor in thinking and waves at you, says,
Oh, I'm sorry, Chico. I've become very fond of you all, but I don't think I should go with you. It's terms of my employment as it turns out, so you will meet Victor, and he will tell you what to do, and I'll wait here on the ship, if that's okay.
I get a little group photo with everyone. Man, I need to stop being so trusting. So what do you guys think? Because I'm not entirely sure if we should trust someone who was coming on the ship with some magical collar and saying they were employed, and I'm not supposed to know who you are, or I'm not supposed to tell you who I am. And then, I mean, I did feed her, and then she started opening up, but we still don't know much about her.
But Chico, that kind of helped us too, you know, by being friendly to her. We found out more about the source of magic breaking. Like, we know his name's Victor and he lives at the North Pole and he's got a friend named Andrea, you know? So, like, being nice doesn't just help other people, it helps you.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Let's go! Completely sway Chico to just be ignorant. Awesome.
so you're making your way through the door then?
Unless
totally
Kid has
will.
any objectives. Objections.
It's a big door, right?
Oh yeah, so it's massive, like 12 feet tall.
Yeah, I can see it set to horse. I think you're okay.
I love how your new character is like completely opposite to your old character. Your old character would be wondering, but now your new character is just like, let's go. We can trust him. It's great. It's funny because after the last episode, Chico's last mission, he was very much trusting, and then it went south. So now he's a little on edge about trusting people, just a little. It doesn't take a lot for him to change his mind.
But as the door closes, I just want to get like a bit of a rock and just prop the door open so it doesn't shut completely.
Okay.
For
As you do so,
quick escape, should we need it?
smart. You walk in and it's pleasantly warm relative to outside, but with the door ajar, there's a nasty draft coming in. And so I think instinctively all of you kind of shift over to your left to avoid the draft. And you find yourselves in a room that's it's not opulent, but it is, it's well decorated. It's a foyer. Has marble floors with various rugs, tasteful paintings around light fixtures that would resemble modern light bulbs, but may be unfamiliar to your group. Sorry. Hold on. And the only exit out of this room, there's some seating that's very comfortable looking, probably not for centaurs though. And then you see at the far wall, there's a door that leads on. Oh, and there is a sign on the table that says, "Please make yourself comfortable."
Well, alrighty then. He just sees the sign and sits in one of the nice comfy chairs. This chair is mighty comfy. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there's any furniture here for our dear Barbara.
Don't worry about me. It's not a problem. I'm totally cool. Let's just be mellow.
Oh no, she's on nerves again.
So as you make yourself comfortable, there is a small, it kind of looks like a Roomba to describe it to the players, but it's just this short disc-shaped thing that's moving toward you with a tray on top with hot cocoa mugs. And appropriately enough, there's like a large cup, a medium cup, and a smaller cup. And it whisks towards where you're sitting and stops in the middle of the three of you.
Alrighty, I think each cup is for each of us. That's mighty nice. All right, I'll take the medium one.
Hey, Chico, can I check that?
Sure.
I'd like to use my Potion Master ability. I also have Herb Identification and Chemist as abilities.
Okay.
And I'd like to identify this by smelling it. I'm going to sniff it, holding the cup up to my nose and wafting with my hand the vapors up to my nose.
Okay.
So which of my skills do you think I should use to roll?
I think potion would probably be better because it seems to constitute a broader array of things that it could be. And if it is organic, the herb stuff would kick in. But I'd say potion.
21, maybe?
Excellent. That you can exactly identify most of this. And so what you have determined is this is not only hot chocolate, but it is using a variety of chocolate that is exceptionally flavorful and unfamiliar. Like it's an uncommon varietal, but based on, and I'll go ahead and extend that to your herbal knowledge, I'll say you know that it's benign. It's not poisonous. It's not, you can tell that it's just a quite flavorful cocoa.
Having sniffed it, I hand it to Chico.
Yay! This smells amazing. He sips it.
A warmth courses through your body that is extremely comfortable. You didn't realize how cold you were outside until you take a sip of this drink, and then you realize the difference that it is making, and you feel just loose and satiated.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel mighty warm and comfortable here, drinking this hot cocoa on this soft cushion here next to the fireplace.
I want to do two things. First of all, I would just want to double check that the Roomba-esque disc is set to not murder.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I'd like to
okay.
deactivate it and stash it in my bag.
Okay. So it is larger than you, like it could accommodate you. So just so you know.
That's what I'm thinking.
Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll for checking the switch, because this technology is different than what you've seen before. Like tinker or whatever cliche you think would be better.
The switch is in a slightly different spot to normal.
That's right. That's right.
Or it's a different colour. All right, that's 16.
Okay. You do find the setting. It's written in very flowing script common, and it's set to hospitality.
What's the other setting?
I think, well, the other settings are flee, defense, and there's a question mark by the last setting.
Okay. Well, I'm going to deactivate it anyway.
Okay. It seems to gather your intent and backs away from you.
There's a smart guy, yeah? Okay. Right. Server, this statement is a lie. Jake Trap always gets him.
You can see that the switch goes to question by itself, and it seems to be still, but moves left and right occasionally as if to indicate it's still operating, but it's processing.
Well, that'll keep it busy.
It decides it stops, it switches to flee, and then it makes its way through the far door at the end of the room.
Yep, that's what I call an existential crisis. Good to know. Anyway, what's going on with the bigger people?
Would you like some cocoa?
Oh, yeah, right.
I hand you a cup.
Well, no, you can just stick it on the floor. I don't have, hands.
Oh. I put the cup on the floor.
I'll stick my beak in it.
It is the same sensation goes through you that went through Chico. You're warm, satiated, and feel like more confident, strangely.
Yeah, don't like this.
All right. You hear, seemingly from everywhere, a xylophone playing 3 notes. Doon, doon, doon. It says,
no, we're an NBC.
Sorry, I don't know if that's copyrighted. Let me switch the notes.
It's 3
Ding,
notes.
doon, doon. Hello, fire-breathing kittens. Please make yourselves at home. I am looking forward to speaking with you, but I don't want to rush you. Please take your time. You can meet me at the end of the hallway. It's a bit of a walk, but I have every confidence that I will see you whenever you're ready. Okay, I'll see you later. And then you hear the end of the transmission.
Do you want to ride?
Sure thing. Chico hops up on top of Barbara.
Yeah, may as well. I mean, how long is the corridor?
Well, the room itself is large. It's about 75 feet from the front door to the rear door. Like, it's this very spacious room.
Right. So the corridor is beyond the rear door?
Correct.
Okay. How long's that?
That one is probably 120 feet.
Okay. I sprint down it.
Okay, so you're opening the door. Are you taking your cups with you?
No.
I finished mine.
Cool. All right, so you open the door and you blast through.
And then 10 seconds later, we're at the end.
Well, not quite, because as you gallop through, 2 metal barred doors close on either side of you, and then you hear a rumbling from the walls to your left and right.
I knew I should have checked the walls for the trap switch.
What's going on?
So and the walls, I would say, the corridor is wide. It's probably 15 feet wide. But you hear the rumbling, and then spikes start coming out of the walls, stop, and then the walls slowly start making their way to you.
Yeah, that checks out.
Wait a minute. What's going on? This is a trap. And that Chico's starting to look around. I'm going to look for a way to get out of here. If there's any way. Can I roll a vigilante sidekick or?
Yes, that's perfect. I think that would be appropriate.
Go ahead and roll that. So I got 12.
Okay. So you see there's a ceiling ventilation panel above you.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also a sewer grate on the floor in the middle of the corridor.
Okay, so there are 2 ways out. There's one. So I point up to the ceiling grate to Kit and say, can't you go up and fly up there and see if there's a way to stop this thing? And that...
It's really mean.
And I look at the sewer thing, and I look, is that wide enough for a centaur to go through?
If you say yes, I'm going to punch you.
It's not.
It's not.
But,
Okay.
but it looks... Wait, how will you punch me? Hold on. I kind of want to say yes to see what happens.
I'm just frustrated by the suddenly horse-sized accommodations all the time.
No. So the sewer grate could accommodate a person. The ventilation...
You'd better not say I fit in that ventilation shaft.
No, you don't.
I can't. I don't think I can reach the ventilation shaft. That's why I say, Kit, you should go up the ventilation shaft.
But there is...
And
so
I'll go...
It would fit a normal, medium-size, I guess, human in this dimension. But I will also say, not only do you see those 2 things, but on past the barred door in the corridor, you see a pedestal that rises up out of the floor with a gleaming red button.
I'm running right towards it, right? Like that's, past the barred door. Okay.
Past the barred door. So, but
How far apart are the bars?
The bars are probably 8 inches between them.
Okay, yeah. I'm at the bars. I ran all the way there to the end of the corridor, and I'm like, Kit, press the button.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll just squeezy my way through.
Oh, yeah, you're small enough to do that, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're pushing the button?
And, well, unless there's a handy just off switch on the other side of the bars.
So the pedestal is up high, and while this is happening, the walls are slowly closing in, but very slowly. Are you on top of the pedestal, below the pedestal? Like, were you able to get over to the button? I suppose Barbara could have thrown you.
I mean, she could have done.
I couldn't have. I'm not strong. I have magic. I can give you a potion that all magic in the world will fail, so maybe I should use it on the wall.
But I can probably work my way up. Can't be that difficult.
Okay. Give me some kind of cliche associated with climbing, if you have anything.
I forgot kiwis can't fly. I'm sorry. That's why I thought you could fly. I was like, why do you have? And I just realized you have a glider thing in the beginning. I was like, wait, why?
He desperately wants to fly one day like all the other birds, Chico.
That's why you guys said that were me. I'm sorry.
It's his life's goal.
All right, now we finally understand the core aspect of the character. How about if I go for Dreamer on the basis that, like, you can see kind of or imagine an unusual path to the top of the pedestal, like maybe up the side, like the side of the wall. Maybe there's a suit of armor or something. You can climb up that and then hop over.
Okay.
Or maybe there are some curtains you can, like, with your the beak, and just pull yourself up and then glide.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll that, and I'll describe what happens depending on the outcome.
15.
Oh, you made it. So, since the corridor itself was about 15 feet wide, and you notice that there's no furnishings in the trapped section, but there are furnishings beyond. And so there are, there's like a wall of paintings. It's almost like a portrait corridor. And so you're able to hop from picture frame to picture frame until you're at the highest point. You strap on your gliding backpack, and you steel your courage as you look at your the walls that are closing in on your party. You jump over, you glide, and you are making your way to the button. You can land on the pedestal or go past the pedestal. I'll leave that up to you. But you can read very clearly. It says big red button that says off in white letters.
Well, that seems sensible. It's land on the pedestal and then just go. I'll just press the button with my foot. Go.
Okay. The action on the button is very satisfying. There's a nice mechanical click, and as soon as you do that, the walls stop, the spikes withdraw, and then the walls go back to their normal place, and then the doors slide open.
Well, I am glad that the stop was referring to this and not like the oxygen in here.
Well, thank you so much for saving us. Now we gotta get to the bottom of this. I think Victor was trying to trick us, and he is the one behind all this magic flux mojo going on. We gotta stop him.
Or understand why he's doing this and find a different way to both accomplish our goals.
You might be onto something. I like that.
This is the friendliest group I think I've ever experienced.
But just in case, would Barbara, you're able to move a bit quicker. Would you mind just sticking your head out of the door at the far end and ask the captain to set sail the ship and hover just above the house?
The running part, I do really quickly. The approaching the ship part, my feet do slow down.
Just shout.
Yeah, and I shout that and I quickly run back inside, away from the scary boat thing.
It was rushed and in a way that was not super discernible, but Leica does get the gist. And so the captain makes preparations, and then if you stick around long enough, you see Andrea actually pitching in a little bit, and the ship hovers slightly and starts to make its way over the edifice.
Yeah, and there will have also been some other brief instructions, which we won't reveal just now.
Oh, perfect. All right, so you are in the corridor, and there is a door at the far end, and the pedestal itself has retracted back into the floor.
Well, do we make our way through this door?
Yeah.
Brace ourselves? All right, let's go.
All right.
We're the kittens.
You guys should be on my back so that if we have to book it, we can do so quickly.
You come to a slightly warmer room, and you see coffee shrubs planted in two neat rows, one on the left, one on the right. On the left, you see mechanical claws watering and fertilizing the plants, while on the right, you see claws picking the ripe fruit and placing them in a hopper next to the plants. At the far end, you see a flight of stairs leading up to a room with many windows.
It's a mighty nice warm room, and it's kind of warm like a greenhouse. Look at all these different coffee plants and all these robots picking at them and taking care of them. That's nice. Doesn't seem like there's any traps in here.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it didn't seem like there were any traps in the corridor, but...
You're right.
Look how that ended up.
Chico pulls out a carrot. It's like, guess we'll have to take care of these robots. He's kind of eyeing him as we're making our way through. So, Barbara, do you want to slowly make your way through?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll keep my eyes out on these robots here, and I try to attack us.
All right. You see the arms. They keep doing the jobs that you saw them doing initially, but with care. Like they're very precise. You do notice that as you're watching them. You find yourself at the foot of the staircase, and it's probably like 25 steps up. And then you see the room with the windows.
Before we get to the stairs, on my character sheet, it says that I like to learn new potion recipes and collect ingredients.
Okay.
I'm just going to like look at the coffee beans. I stop moving, and everybody's like, oh no, she stopped moving. Oh no. And then I'm like, Mr. Victor, I like your coffee plants. They're really nice.
Dun, dun, dun. Or yes, you get it. Xylophone.
Not the NPC chime. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. I have been, I'm a curator of many fine things, and this was one of them. This coffee is very difficult to grow unless it is in the proper conditions. Humidity, oxygen levels, it is very delicate, but I'm very proud that I've been able to have them flourish in my own home.
Can I roll for herb identifier for making comments about soil pH?
Yes, you may.
I roll to nerd.
Yeah, I got a 5.
So based on the Risus target number sheet, that says you're able to, it's something that's difficult for like a civilian, but a pro can handle easily. So I'll say that since you're just talking about soil pH, that's sufficient.
Wow, what soil pH are you growing these coffee beans with? This is really interesting.
So that is the trick. Surprisingly, you think it would be acidic because that is what helps normal coffee to flourish, but this pH is closer to 10, which is very basic.
Wow, that's so impressive.
Yeah, we can talk further if you like. I'm in the middle of a couple of things, but you're very close.
Okay, are there any more like life-threatening traps between here and there? Because you might not have forgotten to turn your hallway killer trap off.
Oh, yes. Did I mention the intrusive sea scouts and their meddlesome cookie sales?
I can wait here and like check out these cool plants if you want to come to us.
Nine. I have many things to show you, and most of the things I have to show you are in this room.
Is one of them going to be how to make coffee? I'd like to learn.
Well, it is an automated method that is perfectly vertically integrated. We grow beans, we ripen them, we dry them, we roast them, we grind them, we filter them, and we drink them. Not the beans, but the coffee, as you can imagine. Did you enjoy the hot cocoa, by the way?
It was amazing.
Ah, delightful.
I imagine Kit and Chico are just playing poker or something on Barbara's
Chico's listening and telling us like, so that's it wasn't us. It wasn't a trap for us. It's for the Sea Scouts. Got it. Chico is all on board with this. It's just a part of the adventure now.
It's easily explainable.
Easily, and not a lie.
About the vertical integration system, I say, I dig it, and then we head on.
All right. As a centaur, are you able to climb stairs well? I know, I don't mean to be insulting. I know cows can climb stairs but cannot climb downstairs. And you're not a cow. You're a centaur.
Going down is hard. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But going up would be no problem?
Going up's not it's the dread for later. Yeah, but...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you gingerly try to climb up the steps. As you climb the steps, as soon as you hit the 13th step, you hear a click. All the steps fold down into a slide, and you begin to slide down, and at the foot of the stairs, there's the floor moves to open and reveal a tank with 2 large sharks.
How wide is this stairway? Because sometimes long one way, wide another way, I could just rotate my head and my butt to be on the left and the right walls and then stop sliding.
It starts wide and narrows as you go up at the point that the 13th step is, I would say probably 8 to 10 feet.
There is a small chance that I could wedge myself in this stairway. But I can't tell what you're going for. 10 feet too wide, 8 feet possibly. Because I've got a human top, so I'm 7 feet tall myself, right? And that's not if I'm stretched out.
Just say you do it.
I do it. I wedge myself. I don't know what you're going for. 10 impossible, 8 very easily accomplishable. 8, I achieve it. My hooves are stretched out to the right wall, and my human hands are pushing against the left wall, and I stop sliding.
Nice. Okay. No, I guess that's not necessary. Okay. You do that. Chico and Kit remain on your back, but they're kind of like, as you're on the side, they're being prevented from sliding down. And what you see at the foot of the stairs to the one side of the shark tank is a pedestal comes up with a giant red button on it.
Cool. Chico, could you do me a favor? I don't have, hands. So
Yeah.
grab one of those potions from Barbara's bag and stick it in the shark tank. See what happens.
Yes.
Alrighty, that's a great idea. I grab one of the potions and throw it into the shark tank.
Okay.
Can I roll? Can I roll?
Sure, yes.
All right. Potion mastery. That's a potion of adjusting time if it works. And it's 3,
Okay.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 maybe. I'm not so math. But anyway,
Okay.
the idea is you can make a loop of your choosing with this potion. Like you can choose when to time loop.
Wow.
So I'm not sure what that looks like to us outside.
Well, I need you to roll a d10.
Okay. 5.
It does exactly as you anticipate. Like, it works.
But what is it?
I don't know, you tell me.
What do the sharks accomplish? Is this like the movie Deep Blue Sea where they acquire intelligence, hatch a plan, and escape? Like we look
Well-
and the sharks are gone because they've gone back to the Pacific?
Well, they're swimming in circles, and they know when their ceiling opens, it's time to eat.
How
so they're
about,
swimming
what,
around.
What about... It may not necessarily be scientifically accurate, but people say that sharks can only swim forwards because if they did it backwards, they would drown. If they've only been swimming forwards and we reverse the time, they start swimming backwards and drown.
I feel bad for these sharks. To us, it looks like the sharks like record scratch and move back and then die.
I will say, because it's a time loop spell...
Not initially. Drowning is a very painful process.
Oh my gosh. Here's what happens. So they and the water move backwards. So they don't drown per se because everything's flowing backwards, but additionally, the roof above them, or the floor to you, also moves backwards. So it kind of goes in reverse, gets restored, and then you see the pedestal start to descend once the floor is complete and the stairs click back into place.
You can make it up real quick now
I run.
before it
All
goes
right.
back.
You run up and make it to the door safely, and about 7 seconds after you do so, the stairs, it's like the potion wears off, the stairs click, and there's a slide again, and then the panel opens to reveal the sharks, and they're just swimming.
Kit is so sad they're not dead.
Well, yeah, I'm a small bird. Why would I not be upset that sharks, who are very intent on eating me, are still alive and kicking?
They wouldn't even taste you. You're so small. I don't even think they care. They care more about the delicious looking rabbit.
Yeah, but that's worse, I mean, if I were to be eaten by anything, I'd want it to be something that noticed and had some sort of thought about it rather than just inhaling me.
Yeah, you're right, because I'm more like a chicken sandwich to them, and you're more like a peanut. Not even a whole peanut. It's just like half of one.
I'm basically just a crouton to them.
If I want to be eaten, I want to be eaten by something that notices.
As you're having this Epicurean discussion, you notice the window by the door that you're standing next to a dog hops up and kind of looks at you expectantly with its tongue out, like, "Oh, hey, it's a corgi just waiting for you."
It's outside the window.
No, it's like poking its head through the window to look at you.
There's a door or a window?
So there's a door at the top of the stairs, flanked by windows.
And the windows are pointing outside, right?
They allow you to look into the room and allow those in the room to look out of the room.
Oh, so the windows are leading into a room and a corgi's inside. Okay, I thought it was like
Correct.
outside, like
It's
in the snow.
a rare case of interior windows.
Well, it's a warm coffee room. You know how it is.
Okay, I see what you mean now. Yeah.
Well, we've got a bird, a rabbit, and a horse in our party so far. Let's add a dog to it. Hi, puppy.
You see it bark, but you don't hear it because it's behind the window.
I open the door. Oh, no, it's going to slide out into the sharks. Oh, bye, puppy.
Well, are you going to move into the room as you open the door or just open the door?
I love how that was the first go-to. Oh no, the corgi slid the sharks. Oh no.
All right, you open the door. The corgi sees you and starts making laps around the three, I guess just around you, Barbara, since the other two are on top of you. And the landing is big enough that it doesn't get near the slide, and it's just happily circling you and kind of very peppy and almost like it wants to shepherd you, but is just happy that you're there. But it knows better not to jump on you.
Yeah, I kick automatically.
And so it just kind of has this, it's not a yip and it's not an aggressive bark, but kind of this happy medium bark, like, "Woof." So circle, 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 makes its way back to the door and kind of like it's wagging its tail looking at you.
What else is here, GM?
An open door with windows that you can look through. You're at the top of the stairs of the coffee room. There is a slide behind you and an open pit of sharks.
Yeah, like through the door, through the windows.
You can see what looks to be almost like a cross between a fancy dining room and a library. So lots of rich wood, many books. You see kind of what could only be described as maybe machines. There's a table with a bunch of different food on it. There's a roaring fireplace with a mantle. And as you're looking at this, you do something that does catch your eye is there's a giant cylinder, like very unusual, with a glowing green diamond, either window or emblem or something, but it's glowing.
Ooh.
That
And
looks
then
very... Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was about to say, that looks very magical.
As you're outside the door, you hear, "Waffles, I guess here?" And you see an elf come into the doorway, and he has very white hair. He's very old. You can tell he's a high elf. He's wearing green,
There's a smoke
almost
trail
like a robe.
behind him.
Not that high.
Why not?
So, well, yeah, why not? Maybe it's a little high. It's like, "Oh, delightful! I'm so happy you made it. I see you made it past the obstacles, the tests. That tells me you are the heroes I have been waiting for. Please come this way. My name is Victor von McGee, and this is my home. I'm so sorry for all the trouble. I do not want to put you in danger, but the people that I need to help me need to be very capable. And if you are able to withstand the storm and these traps, then I know I have the right people. Please, come this way. Would you care for any more cocoa?"
Oh, yes, please. That was delightful.
"Ah, wunderbar. One moment." And you see him go back in, and he pushes a few buttons on a panel. You hear that same click of the action of the buttons. And the same robot that you saw earlier comes out into the room, but it goes to the doorway but stays within the threshold of the doorway as if it's programmed not to leave that room.
Do we have the rock with us, or did we leave it with the captain?
I will leave that decision to you. It was on the ship, but if you wanted to take it, you can say that you have it.
Because I don't remember ever taking it back, so... Anyone here have it?
Mm-mm.
No?
Have a what, sorry?
The rock? Remember the rock from the beginning?
Oh,
crystal
crack on?
artifact.
Yeah.
Left it with the captain.
I think
to
we left it
guide
with
us
the
here.
captain.
Yeah. I think we just left it with the captain. But if my intuition's correct, I'm pretty sure it'd be pointing at this big magical vial of magical green whatever. And he said there's a diamond in it, or it's got a diamond-shaped emblem on it.
It's a diamond-shaped. You can't tell if it's an emblem or a window or something, but it seems to be glass or crystalline, whereas the cylinder itself is more of a metal shape or metal material. I'm sorry.
And Chico's thinking that this is probably the source of all this magical mojo, but he's not entirely sure how it works or anything. He just wants to listen to what Victor's got for us to do.
There's also a tray of cocoa waiting for you.
Oh, cocoa! I love cocoa. He goes and grabs a cup of cocoa and sits down.
I put one on the floor.
Are you still outside the room, Barbara?
No, I went inside and I talked to him, remember? And I asked for cocoa, and then he got me cocoa, and then now I'm putting it on the floor for our dear friend with no hands.
That's very nice.
So, you're probably wondering why I wanted to recruit you. It's a bit of a long story, but you have cocoa and a comfortable place to sit. So if you'll indulge me, I would like to tell you. I have been around for a long time. I've between 7,000 and 8,000 years old. I have not been keeping track specifically, but I'm in that age range, and I've seen quite a bit. I've become very patient in my old age. And to occupy my time, I would try to research things about the planet, how I can help, where I could pitch in. And there was a wonderful opportunity a few years ago. I joined with a group called Dreams Unlimited Limited, and I worked in their research division, translating tomes. And I came across this fabulous tome that no one else could translate, but I found that there were ancient writings about a creature, a nebulous foreigner who encircles our globe. And what I found in the writings, and I couldn't believe it, was that this creature actually helps facilitate magic in our world. I thought, what a gift this creature provides to us. But then I researched more and found that this creature is only using us. Are any of you familiar with agriculture?
Oh, that's me. I know a lot about agriculture.
Ah, perfect. So here's the parallel. Imagine you have some farmland and you want to grow some crops. So you plant some seeds and you take care of the land, and then you are able to reap the fruits of your efforts, and you collect so much more than you had before. And with that, you can plant even more with the seeds in your crops, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So that is what this creature does. He uses the magic in the magic users of this world, and he fosters that power until they die. And when they die, he collects this magic material, this magic essence that's inside every magic user. And he grows larger and ultimately more dangerous. I have a feeling that this creature will consume our world, all life. It will take time. It will take maybe thousands of years. But it is something that we need to stop. So I have created an invention, and he motions over to the thing with the window, the green diamond.
Mm-hmm.
I've created an invention to help stop this cycle. It is interrupting this magic cycle, and this arcane intelligence is being starved of the magic he would normally be receiving. It mentioned how to do it in the tome, but I did not have the technology. That is, until I visited Briar's Glen. I was able to find the remains of a large star-traveling ship that had immense technology. I was able to use that technology, and now I'm collecting the magic right here. And with this magic, with its own power, I will blast it and destroy it. And then we will be free of this danger. And I need help from heroes like you.
It sounds sort of like you're making a unilateral decision on a topic that affects a lot of people, though.
Yes, well, the end of the world affects everyone. Would you agree?
The end of the world, was it happening, like right now?
Oh, no, by no means. From my calculations, it sounds like it will be thousands of years in the future. However, we have a limited window to attack this creature. It is not fully grown, but if we wait until it is fully grown, what chance do we have? We have to attack it when it is young, smaller, and weaker. That is our only chance.
Is it possible that the person who wrote the book that you read had their own motivation for getting you to attack them? Like, why'd you believe them? You trust everybody?
I do not, but that is a fantastic question. That is a question I had myself. And if you'll permit me, I can show you the truth. He's going to push a button that's on a brace. And what happens is there are these 2 silver covered dishes that appear on the table that has food on it. And they open up. It says, I have an opportunity to show you the truth. And perhaps it will convince you, ease your suspicions. There are 2 types of fruits. There's a fruit with the blue peel, and if you eat the fruit with the blue peel, you can just go to sleep, and you'll be transported back to your guild, and you won't have to bother, you won't have to help me at all. You'll be safely delivered back home. However, if you eat the fruit with the red peel, I will show you even more of the truth.
But wait a minute. I want a fruit with a green peel. What does the green peel do?
Oh, we have apples. If you like apples, we have the green apples in the middle of the table.
Does it have any pills in it?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Sorry. I have no, we have the fruit with the green peel. You could eat it if you prefer.
Alrighty.
All right. You take some of the green fruit and it's tasty.
Good. Alrighty. That was amazing. Thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. But I would encourage you to eat the fruit with the red peel. You do not need to. I do not want to coerce you into something that you're not ready for. But I do not feel you will be on board with this life-altering decision unless you have all the information. And honestly, our world is undergirded with a crutch. Magic is simply a crutch. I've seen it so many times where people use it as a shortcut when they could use their knowledge, their effort. Stone and iron can solve the problems as people as we were intended to be.
You talk about solving problems, and I just want to say there was this one time there was like a relief effort for a hurricane, and so I organized everyone to get cans together, and we all worked together, and we all collected a whole bunch of cans, and it was way more cans than I could have collected myself. It's not about one person deciding something for everybody. If everybody comes together and makes a decision on it, you can accomplish so much more. Like how we got so many more cans.
Yes, but who was the person that led that effort to get the cans?
Me.
Right. And if you did nothing, would these cans be there?
No.
No. It takes the will and effort of a person who has the motivation to help. And that is me. And that is you. I can tell by your hurricane relief that you have the right heart.
I got an idea. Why don't we get your idea and discuss it with the Fire-Breathing Kittens Guild, and we can have them help you sort this stuff out. This is way above our heads.
I suppose. One thing I have learned in my many years of life is that people are scared, and they are very fearful of what they do not understand. And I'm afraid if we try to propose this, they will reject it out of fear and out of what they are familiar with.
You don't have any umbrellas around here, do you?
Oh, by no means. We are very well protected from the snow or the rain. Any precipitation cannot permeate this.
Oh, good. All right. Well, and I eat the red thing.
Okay. So, so you're not going to check it or anything with your herbal? No, it's good.
GM, this guy's going to not only kill me, but the entire world. At this point, don't matter. I'm
Okay,
in
so
because
you eat-
the opportunity to change things is here.
Okay, you eat the red fruit.
Yeah. Either I die
And,
from this poisoning or he kills the entire world, GM.
So what happens to you is you feel a tingling in your ears, and it's an odd feeling. But he goes, so you now have the ability to understand any language. Any language spoken can now be understood by you, Miss Centaur Barbara, I believe, correct?
Yeah, you can call me Barbie.
Do you speak Draconic by any chance?
Not before this.
I've been speaking to you in Draconic this whole time, but you understand me as if it is common. And I will just say Kit and Chico just hear the growlings of what sound like Draconic. So, now that you have committed, would you like to talk to the creature?
Totally.
This way. And if you'd like to encourage your friends, they will not understand unless they have the fruit with the red peel.
I look back at my much slower, smaller friends, and I break them off a chunk, so it's not as overwhelming.
I was going to say, I think the dosage might be a bit miscalculated.
I put it on the ground for Kit.
So what does this
I'll
actually
eat
do?
one.
Out of interest, I just heard you say totally and not much else.
So far, it's made me able to understand lots of languages, but everything else it does, I can't say. I mean, do you want me to like roll for herb identification on a fruit? No, I'm not going to try. It'd be like, I don't really know much about fruit.
So as he's bringing out a handheld device that he places on the table next to the food, he overhears your conversation and say, I understand your hesitation. What this fruit does is not so much the fruit, but the microbe in the fruit. The microbe will go into your body, and it will allow you to understand languages. Any spoken language you will understand. It's very handy. You will not be able to speak it, but so is the limitation of a microbe.
I knew a fish who could do that once.
Oh, fascinating.
So Chico's already eaten the apple, now he's listening to Draconic. And it's like, all right, so this is what it does.
Excellent.
How does this help us save the world?
It doesn't help us save the world. It helps us convince you that I am telling the truth and I'm not believing a fairy tale writer from ages ago. So he puts a machine on the table and goes, this is an invention of mine called a teletrophone. And this teletrophone can communicate very long distances. And if you have another teletrophone on the other side, you can hear somebody from across the planet. It is fascinating. But I have modified this one, so it is in tune with the creature that surrounds our world. Would you like to hear what the creature has to say?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, I'll listen.
He fiddles with it a little bit, and then you can hear a voice, and it's just this repeated, hungry, hungry.
I mean, that could be anyone. I mean, what does it say?
Sorry, my stomach's growling.
Oh, please help yourself. We have lots more food, and if you have any special dietary requirements, we try to accommodate that as well. Yes, I understand it is only saying hungry now, but it's because I'm interrupting its cycle where it absorbs the magic. So it's desiring more of what it is trying to harvest, but it cannot. Before it was saying something very different. But of course I cannot relay that to you.
Where's the corgi?
It's lying on the rug by the fire, very happily chewing on a bone.
Hey guys, do you think it's the corgi? Do you think it's picking up the corgi?
Maybe. My pets are always hungry. I'm gonna go with a yes. It could be the corgi.
Could be.
Throw something.
Yeah.
Or someone play with
Someone
it.
with an arm. I have arms. So I will.
All right, show off.
I'll toss a unbreakable borosilicate-based glass, but magicked, or I don't know, chemisted to... Anyway, it bounces along the ground. It's round. It's a potion bottle. Empty bottles is one of my official skills, but you've just told me that 2 is the unskilled number, so I'm not going to roll... Whatever.
No, 2 is, that was just trying to accommodate things, but 2 is a skilled number.
Oh, okay. I'm going to throw an empty bottle.
Go for it.
Okay. 10.
Nice. You throw it in a way that is not aggressive, but the corgi can definitely tell you want to interact with it. And so it looks up from its bone. It makes the face like open jaw, tongue hanging out like, oh, you want to play? And then you see it make a motion of a bark, but what you hear is, play? Play now?
We figured it out.
No, we can understand dog.
Oh, we're listening. I thought we were listening through the teletrophone thing.
Oh yeah, no, that sound is clearly coming from the corgi. The teletrophone is still saying, hungry. And so you hear the dog like, play, yes, play.
Okay.
And then gets the bottle and comes back to Barbara and drops the bottle, and it's like, good.
The only other idea I have would be maybe, Kit, hey, Kit, do you think you could tinker with this teletrophone thing and figure out how it works? See if it's picking up something or if it's just making this noise that's saying hungry.
Yeah, if Mr. What's your name, if you don't mind me having a look at it.
Oh, no, by all means, young man. In fact, if you are inclined in an engineering fashion, I do have the schematics I can show you so you can be more familiar with its functionality.
Ooh, yes, please.
And so he hands over, he has to go to a book on a library shelf. He kind of thumbs through it and goes, and he presents you the book with the page open to the schematics that he's drawn for the teletrophone.
All right, let me have a little look-see through this. Could someone with arms turn the page?
Yeah, I'm right here. I'll do that. I start helping him out.
Right, so I'm going to do a tinkering roll, I think.
All right.
I don't have to put these in order. I just am.
Classic Kit.
Yeah. 19.
Okay, yeah, the schematics are very clear and outlined very well, and you can tell that it, at least from all appearances and your background, it does what it says it'll do. There's some features that are a little bit foreign to you, like they're like a black box to a degree of some of the components, but you get the gist of what they're trying to do.
Well, I mean, it seems to do what he says it should do, if that helps.
If you would prefer, I can tune it. This is not a fixed invention. Is there somebody you would like to hear them talking, someone you are familiar with, perhaps?
I mean, that sounds incredibly invasive, but yes.
How about Andrea?
Andrea, my loyal employee, yes.
Or how about instead let's listen to Skirmish. We just met him. Should be interesting to see what he has to say.
All right.
We'll see how he's getting on with the possums.
Sounds good. Do you know of his general location?
Yeah.
And then what he'll do is he'll direct you to a large map of the world with very fine grid lines and say, can you please just push the button of the general location you're looking for?
Yeah, and then we'll just...
You can use your beak. I assume you have no hands, but you seem very capable.
I've got a beak, yeah. So I'll go find Niqamui on there and just go, bink, bit there.
All right. It says, okay, that is the general location. I will do some fine-tuning. Can you describe him at all? What kind of, what race is he? Any distinct features about him?
Big.
He was a Goliath, and he carries around a warhammer, and he's got on a turncoat. He doesn't have any shirt on. He's got khakis. That's the most important part. He's got khakis.
Very good. I have a filter for Goliaths, and I don't believe there are too many in Niqamui, so this should be very easy.
So he tunes it. And you hear, So then I told him I was up at the top of the mountain, and her sister just wouldn't, she just wanted to win at all costs. And so what I had to do is I had to climb down into the pit and talk to her about friendship. And we had a real heart-to-heart. And it was a really good... No, I mean, I didn't get the gold, but that wasn't really why I was there. I was just there to help my friends, you know? And you probably saw it all over. It's huge. I still get letters about it. So, anyway, I'll just... one ale is fine. Thanks. And then you just hear slurping sounds.
Well, there's definitely not getting on with the possum dilemma.
But you know who probably is? Shane the automaton. Let's go into him. Let's go see what he has to say. I like how Kit is just like, what?
Did you say automaton? I'm afraid it only works on organic creatures.
Ah, shucks.
What does it count if we put him inside a straw figure?
No. I'm afraid that does not apply. He's not a living, breathing creature.
Probably
or
for the
person.
best.
Yeah, well, I don't know much about the automaton to which you refer, but probably.
Well, Skirmish isn't dealing with the possum, but I'm pretty sure I have faith in Shane, the automaton. I'm pretty sure he can handle everything.
Oh, can we listen to the possums?
Yeah. In fact, with your new microbes, you will be able to understand the possums. Now, is there a specific possum or just any possum in the Niqamui area? There are quite a few. It's been overrun, actually.
The one in the basement.
Yeah, the giant possum with a katana.
All right. Let me make some adjustments then. One moment, please.
So, my children, I see all of you are equipped with the knives. I'm very glad you've taken so strongly to your lessons. They are very important, not only for self-defense, but soon we will conquer the people that think they run this world. A new kingdom will come, a possum kingdom, and it will be incredible.
And then you hear the chittering of what you interpret as laughter, but is, possum laughter. You know how that is.
Oh, man. After hearing that, I look at Victor and say, Victor, I think we got worse things going on than that dragon trying to eat all the magic. I think we got to deal with these possums now. You got to help us.
Well, yes, I can help you. That was very disturbing. I will say that your heroes are able to handle this, and I can see as you think that is a much more urgent problem, because you could be overrun by these possums, but possums ultimately will meet the same fate, even if they conquer the world as they claim, which I don't believe they will. This arcane intelligence will consume life as we know it. Possums included. No knife.
I guess that makes sense, but you've been trying to give us all this proof. How do you expect us to handle the situation?
So, this Atlas space station, I've learned that is what it was called, had a beam weapon that was used to destroy some of our top field. But when properly reconfigured, we can use this plus the magical energy we have contained and blast the creature, hopefully killing it.
What
do you say?
Well, one more thing. Is this thing the one that's providing the magic that we use?
In a way. So not directly. What I have been able to discover is magic is all around us in this world. It is a resource, but not directly usable, at least in any fashion that was created until this creature comes along. The creature acts as a bit of a catalyst, and with this creature imbuing this magical power into people are able to use magic. Now, will magic exist after this creature is gone? Yes, but not in the fashion we are accustomed. So we'll have to relearn how to use this resource. Does that answer your question?
How much time do we have before this creature consumes everyone?
My calculations estimate it's in the thousands of years. So probably 8,000 years from now?
Oh, shucks, we got plenty of time to plan this out before committing to this. I say we talk with the Fire Breathing Kittens Guild about this. You've given us plenty of plenty of evidence to back this up. We got plenty of time. We're not going to be sitting on our hands waiting. We can figure out a way to use his magic without this creature, and then we can deal with this creature. Or hell, maybe there's a way to diplomatize with this creature. And what are we going to do about magic when we get rid of the creature? We're not going to know what to do, and things are going to follow the chaos.
Let me ask you this. The three of you, are you magical?
I got a little bit of magic.
I make really good brownies.
Oh, that is a magic all in its own. I will agree with you. But, and you, young man, are you magical?
Well, only in the sense that, I'm a talking bird.
Well, different races, that is not magic per se. That is quite exclusionary. I think that there's only one proper race and everyone else is magic and it wouldn't be around otherwise. I don't subscribe to that notion. However, it seems like you are able to get past my obstacles quite well. Without magic, I assume, since it's being intercepted.
Oh no, I totally did a time loop on those sharks.
Really?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
How was I able to use magic when you said all of it, or just most of it's getting siphoned off by your tool?
It should be all of it. This is quite disturbing that you're able to use it. One moment.
You want me to test it?
No, please.
I'd love to test it.
Just let me check a few things. And so he goes to his container and he goes to the mechanisms and the dials and everything. And it's like, there's a leak. This is a problem. We should not be here. You three. What I'm about to tell you is going to be very shocking, perhaps. There is an element of this design that I clearly did not understand. And now I'm intercepting most of the magic, but not all of it. And now there has been an accumulation similar to like an explosive gas building up in an area. And this place is now flooded with it. So I'm a patient man. I will rebuild. Try this again. I have the technology, I have know-how. You may go back to your leaders and discuss this as a possibility, but we do need to address this. In the meantime, me and Waffles are going to make our way out. I suggest you do the same. And so he calls the dog. He pulls a lever behind or next to the fireplace. It rotates around, reveals two seats. One is perfectly his size, one is perfectly Waffles' size. And then it flips around again to reveal the fireplace. And then he's gone.
I'm assuming it's an escape pod that just shoots out of the chimney or something like that, right?
Actually, in 45 seconds, you hear a rumble, and from the windows that face outside, you see a trail of smoke in what we as players would understand to be a rocket, but may not be. That technology may not necessarily exist commonplace in this world.
Can I ask just which direction is it going? Is it?
Well, every direction is south.
No, as in from our position. Like, is it going like across? Is it going straight up?
It would be the direction of like where you would go to the coffee plant room, kind of like behind that way.
No, but as in like trajectory. Is the rocket just going straight up from where it's gone, or is it going off at an angle, or?
Well, kind of up and like in toward the direction that you entered the room from, where the coffee plants were. So it would be almost as if it's
so it does kind of just go straight up for a...
Mostly, yes.
Okay, because previously we'd ordered the airship to park directly over the house, so it's crashed into the bottom of it.
Well, it does nearly miss the ship, and one of the gas bags gets a rip from one of the fins on the rocket and is now slowly leaking.
So I think we need to get out of here, but before we do, I'm going to grab that telephone and a couple of those apples with the red and blue pills in them, whatever they were for, whatever they hold.
Oh no! Don't do the blue. Okay. Good night.
No, I'm not going to eat it. I'm going to take it with us.
Okay. Out of character, we've got all the mad scientist laboratory to ourselves now, don't we?
Yes.
But the place is going to blow up as far as I heard. He said there was magic building up and it was going to explode.
That's why I'm out of character. My character is gullible, right? It's written on, it's right there. Rise is not a large character sheet, My character is gullible, but the player doesn't believe half of what that guy told us. The reason why I took the red pill was because that was one of them crucial moments where you can call the kidnapper pretty, You're like, oh, you're so smart. It wasn't because I think they're right. Although I agree that natural gas leaks are explosive and like dangerous, maybe we can like stop it or vent it and just explore. And I want to read the original book. I want to.
Well, it's not a gas leak.
Idea.
It's a magic leak.
Yeah, I'm using an analogy. I'm saying standing here might be dangerous. That part might not have been a lie. It might behoove us, to figure out the source of the danger and mitigate it somehow. Complete abandonment of this area without investigation might not behoove us, right?
Yeah, I was going to bring that stuff with us so we can investigate it. But yeah, maybe. Okay, so this device, it's holding in magic stuff, but I don't think it's magical because it's, I don't know. Would Kit be able to tinker around with it and figure it out?
Well, I would probably say that, if your idea is to siphon off a load of magic to prevent this creature from siphoning off magic, then making the entire outside of it magical makes absolutely no sense because that would just get siphoned off by the machine.
What if we released the machine to release all the magic to the monster? We could not be going to be exploding anymore, and we could hear what it normally says. You've got the schematics, Kit.
Well, I've actually been thinking on that, and I think I have a rather elegant solution. But we're going to need to take that machiney thing there and head back up to the ship.
Oh.
We got time to go get some coffee beans. Off you go.
I'll help you harvest the coffee beans, and then we can have some of that coffee when we get back.
Can we go to the ship later? I just want to hear what the monster says when it's not hungry. Oh well.
Yeah, no, that's what we got the machine for. We'll take that with us so you can hear.
Can you describe that machine again, GM?
It's a separate machine. The listening one and the catcher.
Which machine are you talking about? There's the teletrophone to communicate with the monster. Then there's the machine that is absorbing magic energy or intercepting it from the magic cycle, which would be actually somewhat large, but the tanks are really what's large because it's trying to fill this energy, so to speak.
Yeah, so they're different things. We just take the teletrophone up onto the ship and then you can just do whatever from there.
My proposal, sorry, I'll restate it, I wasn't clear, is that we turn off the magic siphoning equipment so that the food goes to the monster again. That way we can use the teletrophone to hear what its thoughts are when it's not starving to death.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. I've got a solution for that. It's just that basically the short version is this machine was not designed to be turned off.
Oh, it was designed to go boom?
Yeah, had a look at the schematics. Well, it's not designed to go boom, no, it's just... When you set this sort of thing up, you don't put in, things to let it turn off because you don't plan to let it turn off. So if it is going to turn off, it's going to turn off in quite an explosive fashion. So if we tried to turn it off now, then we would get a little bit boomy, but that's what I've got the solution for. But I think we do have a little bit of time left. So if you want to go and harvest some coffee beans or do whatever, I'll send a signal up to the ship and they can let down ropes or whatever, and then we'll get to a safe distance and then I'll do my solution.
Okay, I don't need coffee beans. It's okay. There are other things that are more important.
Okay, I mean, if you're sure, you can go and get coffee beans. It's okay.
I'm good.
It's not the trick. We do have time. You can go get some coffee beans.
You're going to get ditched by Kit.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here.
Chico's going to go down and get coffee beans.
Oh my God, you guys.
Regardless.
Okay. All right. I neither want to go get coffee beans.
We're letting your character have something nice.
Why? We're talking about being in a magical gas leak room. building.
Yeah.
What kind of idiot would go get coffee beans in this situation?
The RPG
Chico.
says it's okay. The whole vibe of the RPG is do whatever you want, and if whatever we want to do is go and get some coffee beans, then I think we can do that.
I'm okay. Thank you.
Well, after that, I think Chico's, oh, look at it. What's that, Chico? You got a bag full of coffee beans. That's handy.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good conversation, Chico. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, so I'll just signal the ship and I'll stick my head out of the window and just kind of whistle. Because apparently I can whistle with a beak. Who knows? Oh, wait, I can make sounds.
Yes, you can make so many sounds.
Yeah. Which was the signal for letdowns and ropes.
What?
Or I could just say letdowns and ropes.
I just look
Actually,
at the rope.
The whistling that you did to Chico and Barbara sounds like "let down the rope" because of the microbes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right.
And so there is a bit of a hole in the roof where the rocket was, and you can see the ship. The building itself is not super structurally sound because it's not meant to withstand a rocket leaving it.
I mean, not
And
many
so-
are.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness. And so it's starting to crumble. Laika sees you, and you see them both kind of track the rocket for a bit, and they look down to see what they can see. They see you. Then you see a rope ladder unfurl, and thankfully, Koa and Simon were knitting them during the journey, and so it extends all the way down into the room that you're in.
What extends?
A rope ladder.
A rope ladder?
Yes.
GM?
And a winch.
You still have your tiny Pegasus wings that do stuff.
Let's just let down a winch as well, just for the sake of argument.
Yeah, come on. Harnesses, my friend.
All right. What you see next then are the two crew members coming in, and they have a bunch of straps ready to go to attach to the ladder, which is very sturdy, they assure you, and allow you to be transported out. They ask if there's anything else you need to do before we leave.
Yeah, I need to go and flip a switch real quick. So I'm going to run off to the captain's cabin, and
Okay.
I'm going to look underneath the desk that we installed, or at least designed, and open up a little secret compartment, and there's a switch on there, which is currently set to not whale. So then I'm just going to flick the switch over to whale, and the ship transforms into a whale, which, as you know, tends to not fly amazingly well.
Yes.
Then the whale falls out of the sky and crushes the house,
Uh-huh.
destroying the big containery thing,
Oh, okay.
and also smashes through any ice which happens to be down there, and we can go underwater to escape the inevitable explosion.
You become a submersible.
Uh-huh.
Okay. This was
Not
more
like
of a
not like a biological whale, more of a
Right.
technological whale.
I like that. Okay, here's what happens. Since it is on a mountain and there's not really ice for you to break through,
We slide.
you do. Yes, that ends up what happens. You do crush the house. You crush the cylinder that is containing the magical energy in such a way that there are fatigue points that allow it to just spritz out, and so magic just starts getting back into the atmosphere, so to speak, and eventually does get collected by the arcane intelligence. You squish through all the technological wonders of the home and then start sliding down the side of the mountain picking up speed until you get to the coastline, and then you splash into the water and begin to submerge.
How many times does it skim?
Across the top of the water
Yeah.
before?
He
Picked up
skipped
quite
5 times.
a lot of speed by the time we get there.
6. It's very flat on the bottom, so it allows it to just 6 times. And then you are in the water. Andrea's with you, and she has vomited because that was a lot of motion that she's not used to. The kids have done the same. The captain is just fine. And you have now left the area. And I will say that's probably, unless there's anything else you want to do, I don't want to end it prematurely. Yes. Go ahead.
I want to know what the sky monster is saying now that it has food again.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, are you dialing in the teletrophone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You hear,
So, my children, we need more knives before we attack.
No,
Switch it back.
Yeah, switch it.
oh, do you have the expertise to switch it back?
Yeah, probably. There's probably a back button on it. Previous frequency. Beep.
Yes, you do find the redial button on the back.
Good
And
thinking.
it goes to the first program, and you hear, delicious, good, grow, eat. It repeats those mainly for a little while because it's so much food all at once.
Well, the good news is we can keep hold of this and show it to people back home.
That'll do it. Yeah. I think this is a mission accomplished. And we've made a new ally with that Victor fella. I'm pretty sure he was onto something, but man, he was going mad scientist mode. Don't you all agree?
Well, you know, if the cold does strange things to people.
So he was a glad scientist. He was very friendly.
Glad scientist.
I will say, if that's it, we'll end the adventure there. The epilogue to your daring do is that magic is restored in the normal method of utility. So things settle down worldwide. Victor is somewhere. Andrea is with you, and she really has a liking of the three of you. She's still very suspicious of everyone else, but the three of you in particular, she gravitates to. Let's see what else. Yeah, I think any questions as to what may have unfolded? Oh, the prisons are fine. Oh, and Nulasag recovers from his burns, and a cleric is able to use his healing magic, and he's completely restored. So all is well, and future GMs will be happy that you didn't irrevocably change the world to have no magic.
That would be awkward.
It's like, I know that story you had was going to have magic, but... So, great job, guys. Thank you for playing. Today, we were joined by Chico.
Well, this was quite a fun adventure. I really did feel like I accomplished something this time and not just went on some fun hijinks and messing things up. I actually accomplished something for once. Woohoo!
Barbara.
Rabbit saves the world.
And Kit.
Well, I'm not looking forward to getting back home because those possums,
Oh, yeah.
them possums are organised.
That's going to be a future episode.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
It's that part of the show where we tell you about a podcast you might enjoy. Have you heard of PNW Haunts and Homicides? Join Caitlin and Cassie as they chat about true crime, the paranormal, and all kinds of spooky stuff in the Pacific Northwest. Just two, air quotes, normal-ish friends who wanted more local creepy stories so they never sleep or leave their houses again. Check out PNW Haunts and Homicides, a podcast.